Cleveland Moto podcast number 365. Light them up, boys. The one that's going to be known as post Mardi Gras.
Yeah.
Post Mardi garbage. Tom Pennington is safe back in New Orleans.
Steve quit drinking again.
No burn liquor for him.
You'll have that.
And I'm not talking.
We've got a little bit
after this.
We've got an experimental
And the people
setup.
rejoiced.
Yeah, we've been getting a lot of feedback from our listeners. And by the way, on record as being the #1 month we've ever had for new Patreon subscribers.
Wow. Whatever.
Yeah, so that tells you something. It tells you people are bored. We got a lot of comments from people that are kind of new to the podcast. And they're like, yeah, we can't see what's on the screen behind your guys' heads. And we're like, well, yeah, I guess you're right. So I dragged out this big fucking TV. And so this is ghetto picture in a picture.
Hey, you're trying.
Right. We are trying. We don't need to have that out there. Yeah.
No, it's great.
I know. We got comments about that too. So, yeah, people are new to the podcast. They're not really aware of how things work around here. So, yeah. You know what? I think the thing is, because we live in a society where everybody has a podcast.
Yeah.
I mean, there's 93 billion podcasts. So now people are like, people that discovered podcasts 3 weeks ago are like, wow, podcasts are a ton of information and there's production value and stuff like that. They don't realize the OG guys are still burping into microphones.
Right.
So podcasts now, I've just realized, are like crews in New Orleans.
That's true.
So everybody gets mad, then they bust off into their own podcast.
Splinter groups.
Their own crew.
That's exactly right. Well, you haven't heard about Cleveland Moto 2. Electric Boogaloo.
Did you, Steve? I don't know if you got to see it. There was a Saturday Night Live skit just a week ago.
I saw it.
About the podcast.
Right.
Yeah, we all saw it.
That was good.
Okay, I'm glad everybody saw it. I really am happy everybody saw it.
I had to show it to him. He doesn't do Facebook.
Yeah, well, you know what? Whatever. That shit hurt me because, of course, the character's name is Phil.
Yeah.
So you're like, now, Phil, I thought you said we weren't podcasting anymore, but that's my live stream.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, fucking hell. So that's that. So to my immediate left is
Oscar.
Yay. And to his left.
Steve Sleepy.
And to his left.
Dan Kromke.
And to his left.
Chris Smith.
And to his left.
Johnny Mac.
And to his left.
Steve HOFFERT.
Oh, yeah, look at that nice tight 7 around the table today. So today there's been several things happen, but I think the first one, and I think this is the #1 thing we need to talk about.
Uh-oh.
I will be at MidOhio.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, no. So 7 days later.
And John bought his ticket to Germany.
There's a story about that.
I cloned myself. So what I'm going to actually do, though, is because the Germany trip starts on the 24th, which is Sunday. I'm going to leave MidOhio. I'm going to fly out of Cleveland at 4:30 p.m. on Saturday.
Oh, that makes sense.
So I'll be able to get the launch and get the misfits welcomed and do all that stuff and get us all Wednesday nighted and Thursday dayed and Friday dayed.
You're going to be bright-eyed and bushy-tailed in Germany.
This is a long flight.
Yeah, he's going to pass
That's
out.
true.
Okay, 2 things. 1, Ambien.
Yeah. So then we're going to hear the story.
You never remember what's after Ambien.
American arrested.
Well, no, preparation H if you're on a flight like that to Germany.
I'm flying.
You know those Germans.
Flying
the
Lufthansa.
Germans.
No, they're just coming pee on you when you're napping. They're like, here you are. The Scheisse Karts is here. So
Right now, the Germans are just really happy that they're not the most evil people in the world.
God, man.
Yeah, but they're freezing because they shut off Nord Stream 2.
Look, they're calling everybody but us Nazis.
Yeah. Oh boy, that's just sitting around for the first time, going, "Oh my God, holy cow! Everyone's a Nazi except us." But it is going to be fun. So I'll be able to participate in the MidOhio thing. It's going to be great. It's going to be a good time. And then I will sneak out of there. I'll do an Irish goodbye at some point, and then I'll jump on an airplane and go to Germany.
That's cool.
So then I'm going to stay in Germany for I'll probably stay there 5 days after the trip. So I'm probably going to go back to where I used to live and hang out in those neighborhoods and stuff, and basically, just be the creepy old American guy.
Look up your old girlfriends.
Look up. Yeah, they all work at Crazy Sexies. It's not hard. They're all in the same building. It's very simple.
They're still there.
They've just changed what floors they're on. As they age, they move up.
Oh, it's Phil. He's back. He's back.
Exactly. Just move those ladies down to a lower floor because they can't get up the stairs in the walker. Oh, no. Right. So it's fair. But then the other big news event is somebody bought a motorcycle on the way to the podcast.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, break that shit down for
Let's
me.
have it.
Yeah.
I've had my eye on a Trident 660. I mean, a Tiger 660.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I hadn't been able to sit on one. I went in today. He said they got in 3, 2 are already sold.
Damn.
My God.
Sat on it, and I'm like, just.
Did you get the sport or the adventure?
He's like, I don't know.
I don't know.
I think it's a sport.
He got the adventure sport.
What color did you get?
Blue.
Yeah, then it's the sport. Yeah, that's the sport. Yeah, that's the sport.
I don't know. It's not really an adventure bike with street tires and the low exhaust.
Look, man, V-Strom's been an adventure bike for a long time with street tires and a low exhaust. So, yeah.
This looks like a Triumph version of my FJ09 I just sold.
It is.
Really does.
It is. I mean, it's.
But it'll run a lot better.
Oh, yeah. No, it was a good bike. I just didn't like it.
Yeah,
For
it's
a
my
friend's
first new.
That's what I said about the CM400.
So that is your very first ever brandy new motorcycle, right? Wow. Yeah, that's cool. That is fantastic. Very fucking cool. I mean, that's badass.
Plus, now we'll have insider info on how they treat a fucking cash-paying customer at
Don't you know,
Triumph.
right? Yeah. I mean, I completely agree in
the
that.
guy who isn't going to have him do anything on it.
It could be. I mean, it might. I think that it'll be a good experience. I've heard nothing but good about all the new Triumphs. Yeah. Everyone's loving them. Everybody's digging them. But that's cool. That is badass. So good for you. You got a Triumph 650 Tiger. Yeah, that's neat.
Yeah,
660, sorry.
It solved my problem. I'm getting ready to go to Arizona.
Yeah.
And I have to, all this work I want to do on the America first.
Yeah.
Well, now I can just let it wait.
Literally, you can do now. All you have to do now is sell the America, right? Yeah, you're not trading it in, are you?
Diane tried to get me to trade it in on it, but I'm
dude,
going to keep it.
Keep
Dude,
it.
if you tried to trade, they would have given you like $9 for it.
I'm
They are so terrible.
Absolutely not kidding you. Trade-in value on a Triumph America is nothing. But right now in today's market, people are paying $1,000, $2,000 over what they should be for a pre-owned motorcycle.
They were also not interested in taking my 72 CS5 on trade.
Not surprising either. Yep. Yeah. I mean, you are dealing with the Triumph dealership that's right down the street. So if it's not currently still under warranty, they don't want to trade it in. You know, that's the way they're operating right now.
No, they got a bunch of used bikes.
They got a ton of used bikes in there right now. Yeah, ton of used bikes. But they're not old. You know, all those used bikes that are in that shop right now are all brandy new used bikes. So, and there's very little to be had at the wholesale auction. So, right now we sold 3 bikes over the past 2 days.
What'd you sell?
Vespas, and they're all pre-owned. And what's hilarious about it is I kind of was trying to figure out how to price them because they're all like a 2020 or a 2021 and still under warranty. So I was like, oh shit, how do you price this out? Because you look at what they're selling for and you look at for what they are on Cycle Trader, and I'm like, they're selling for over fucking retail. But if you're a buyer and you don't have to pay that $575 freight and you don't have to pay a prep or a title or whatever, buying the used one is, you're still going to be a couple of $100 ahead of the game by going with the used one. So both of these customers, or actually all 3 of them that bought the pre-owned Vespas, every single one of them keyed in on the exact same thing. They're like, this bike is ultimately brand new. It's got less than 2,000 miles on it. And I'm saving like $700 to $1,200 over buying the one that's parked next to it that is actually brand new. So right on, man. If you raise these shipping prices high enough, people will buy pre-owned vehicles. Because when you go to your dealership and it says, oh, okay, well, this bike is $89.99. And then it says, oh, well, freight's $1,200. Well, hold on. Now we're in a whole different category of motorcycle. Now we're just crossed into the plus $10,000 bracket. So, so that's good. So I'm glad do you have a good experience buying over there?
Yeah, I mean,
did you work with Ray? Like, who'd you work with?
Marvin?
Yeah, Marvin. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the bike was sitting by his desk. I walked up, sat on it.
Yeah.
You know, we started to talk. My phone rang. I went outside and talked to my doctor's office, and then called Diane and got the okay to buy it.
Always call the War Department.
And said, "Here's my credit card. Put $1,000 down. I'll come in with the rest tomorrow."
Yeah, nice. Yeah, and that's exactly what motorcycle dealerships are right now. That's exactly.
Oh, and you're gonna get to use your trailer.
Yeah.
All right.
Nice.
Dan's using it. He's picking it up Saturday morning. He bought an old Stella.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he bought a Stella down in Columbus.
Is it the red one?
It is the red one.
1,500 or something. I was eyeballing that fucker too, but I don't have any money. So.
And you just bought another bike.
No, I know. That's why I don't have any money. And I just gave Phil the rest of any money that I had. Just went to Phil, so I have nothing.
He gave me cash tonight that smells like the cookie jar. So I don't think his wife knows that he bought side boxes for his
I didn't tell her
African
about
twin.
that.
I was going to say I don't think she knows about that. I think that was an illicit or illegal purchase.
I'm glad she doesn't listen to the podcast.
Oh yeah, you're totally safe.
Yeah.
No, but that'll never get out. Nobody will ever know about that shit. Yeah. So I thought I get a big kick out of that. So okay, you guys want to hear? It's been a little while since we did some good, solid user mail, and somebody said the word Stella.
Yeah.
Okay. So here we go. I'm going to go ahead and read this to you guys, but this is listener mail, and I'm going to say it straight up. I love getting listener mail from people that listen the shit out of this podcast. All right. Okay. Hey, gents. Oh, I should say this is Dave King. So Dave King's been a listener for a long time and super cool. Okay. And so, hey, gents, he says, I'm having a hell of a time getting my Stella. Oh, it's not there. Okay. I'm having a hell of a time getting my Stella up and running. I thought I'd drop another email hoping to evoke some more wisdom from the two-stroke whisperers. The bike is a 2005 LML Stella 150 with a Mille 166 kit, a 2424 E-carb, and an SIP Evo PX125 ? Pipe. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. Jet stacks a 160 Air, BE4 mix, 140 main. Not too bad. Seems like you're in the target. My last email, I was seeking advice on the piston and cylinder situation. Since then, I've successfully reinstalled the first oversized piston into the freshly bored, honed cylinder. Ooh, wait a second. A Mille 166 kit with a freshly bored, honed cylinder. We're going to get back to that in a second. Got it all back together today and running very lean with lots of horrible piston slapping noises. Yesterday, my jets arrived and I swapped out the main and mixer in hopes to richen it up. So now current jet stack is a 160 Air BE3 mix and a 120 main. We'll talk about this in a second. It ran like ass and I was able to flood the cylinder. At some point, it coughed some smoke up through the airbox, and after kicking a few times, the crank locked up. I drowned my sorrows in margaritas last night, but I'm not ready to give up. I'm going to split the cases as easily as I can, dislodge whatever piece of metal or gunk is binding the gears, flush out the case as best as I can, and try to undo whatever fucked uppery I've caused. I really need some advice on tuning this bitch. I feel like I could have the wrong pipe, or maybe I'm way off on my jetting. I was looking at P200 Vespas for their stock setup as a starting point. Thank you guys. Love the podcast. Can't wait to come up sometime for Mid-Americas. I have the perfect van to camp in. All right. So this is Dave King. So what I'm going to do just for the fun of it is I'm going to throw the imagery up because now we can do that and just make it a little bit easier. Yeah. So you're seeing that?
It looks really thin.
So here's my issue. Okay, guys.
No, maybe not. This picture's better.
Right. So Mille cylinders are Nikasil lined.
So that cylinder's fucked.
Yeah. Right. Now I don't know who he took it to. I don't know who bored it to match the oversized piston. But you don't do that. You can't do that. And so that's one of the things about Mille. That's one of their main selling strengths about Mille is that they have Nikasil lined cylinders.
Is it a coating? Is it a coating or is it a...
It's like plating. It's almost
plating.
like chrome plating.
No, it's plating. That's plating. So, if you knock it off, it's not there anymore, right? And part of the magic of when you have any cylinder in any vehicle that is a lined cylinder. Now, whether it's SYM with a ceramic lined cylinder or a Nikasil line coating, and Nikasil is like a brand name, or there's a lot of different types of hard chrome liners that come in all kinds of different cylinders. But this is a nickel, which is the same process as chroming.
I heard.
Yep, super hard. But I am of the opinion that a Nikasil lined cylinder should never be honed.
I was going to say, would you even hone it? No.
I would never hone. I would never consider honing it. I just wouldn't. It's that kind of a thing that is. It is that kind of a deal that you don't do it. So I believe that.
Then how do you But how do you seat your rings? And if it's not honed at all,
that's the
whatever
idea.
hone it has from the factory.
Exactly.
That's
so when you buy a Mille kit, you get a Mille piston, you get a Mille set of rings, usually wire rings or something very small, and then you get the barrel. you get the jug. And those things are always meant to be together. Yeah. Now go ahead.
Is that a liner?
No.
Because I don't see the fins on the out. I mean,
well, I mean that's the jug. That's the bottom of the jug. That's the taper.
Oh, that's the other side. That's the other side. Yeah, I'm not. I've never.
In this picture, he's taking a picture from the bottom of the barrel, looking down. Yeah, yeah. So I'm gonna say, first of all, beyond your mix, beyond your mix setup, behind your that, I think that might be a problem. I think you might have wandered into the "thou shalt not go there" category, and now any mixing formula, any jetting formula is going to be completely out the fucking window. Because I hate to say it, but if you have a cast iron cylinder kit, a Polini kit or whatever, yeah, you can punch those out as long as you've got enough material, as long as you've got enough metal there, you can punch them out as many times as you want to. But if you're going to run, a Penasco kit, or if you're going to run a Mille kit, you shouldn't be punching those out. So,
isn't there another kit? The one guy said he really liked them because you could just keep boring.
DR.
A DR
kit.
Yeah.
It's the cheapest kit you can buy,
robust,
and they're very
just
robust.
Go through pistons left and right, and just keep going up a size, whatever you want.
Yeah, and that is very good news. But I do not, in my opinion, I do not believe that a Nicosil lined barrel should ever be honed, even fucking cross-hatched or what have you. They are what they are, and you don't want the Nicosil is what you're doing. It's why Milosi's have a reputation for being not unseizable but pretty fucking resilient. So that's a really tough one. That's a tough one.
So take all that and throw it away.
Oh boy! I mean, don't we?
Yeah. And
there are
what dropped in
take your bottom end apart and see what fell into your case. See if you need a new crank.
Yeah.
Might want to just get a new crank.
Yeah, and it's also, remember too, if you are still running factory reeds on a Stella, you probably shouldn't be. Get the Go-Gorilla, get the aftermarket reeds, because the factory reeds were not great. There's a lot of things you can do, but the good news is there's a lot of information available on modernvespa.com, and Stella Speed forums have basically got everything you'd ever need as far as data for, and this is all archival stuff. It's stuff that was talked about 10 years ago, 15 years ago.
And I don't know how tight your budget is, but honestly, what is the top end? What is a big
$180,
board?
$160?
A kit and a crank is still under $500, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, way on the
Oh, yeah. And the other thing too is I don't know. He doesn't mention that he's also replaced the crank, and we do know that Stella's from the factory. If
it was a Vespa, I'd say stick with the Vespa crank.
Right.
But since it's a Stella,
yeah, and I agree, and I totally agree, and that's one of those things where if it doesn't already have a Mazzucchelli crank in it, if it doesn't already have an Italian crank in it, that is a very good place to start, because I can tell you that they didn't survive well. Now the DR cylinder kit. So the DR cylinder kit is $278, and that comes with your piston, with your wrist pin, with all the gaskets and rings, and it does come with a head. It comes with a replacement head.
I mean, you can buy a new Mille, just don't
punch it out.
Take it out of the box and install.
I agree. I totally agree. So that's something that I think everyone should kind of be thinking about.
How much is a new Mille?
Fuck a Polini though.
A Mille kit?
Yeah.
They're going to be in the $600 and $650 range. Yeah. So, Milosi's have always been more expensive.
How about a Polini? Get a Polini kit and a Polini
I've always
I don't remember when I had my
I have a Polini on mine.
Yeah, I've had good luck with Polinis.
177.
Yeah. I've had good luck with them. I've never had a problem. The DR kits, they're fine. They work. I've also never had a problem with them. They've just been one of those things. Right now, let me see the Mille cylinder kit. Oh, that's
the 177's peppy too, man. That's a good
it is. Yeah. It is a very rewarding kit.
Unless you don't put
first gear wheelie, no problem. Second gear sometimes.
Absolutely.
It's really good unless you don't put the plastic shroud back on it. Then it doesn't last that long.
Oh my god.
She gets a little toasty.
Who would do that?
I don't know. Some asshole, some fucking nerd.
It is shocking to me how many people are like, well, you don't really need that just for tuning purposes. Why do I need to go to trouble of putting that back on?
If you don't look at it and you don't realize like that the fan part of it blows out into the thing that's it doesn't look like it's doing anything.
It's all of your cooling. It's air.
It is.
It's air cool.
The older Vespas, they're metal, so it probably would have made more sense to you that it was actually
a thing
that was necessary.
I'm just happy I didn't kill my daughter. We were going downhill at like 70 miles an hour when that thing was like, oh, it got really smooth. Oh, fuck.
Yep, there we go. Yep, that's it. Always the warning sign. Yeah, that is guaranteed to be the ultimate warning sign. I just throwing that out there. So for anybody who's interested, that's kind of the jam. $279 is the current price for a 177 kit.
Yeah, I thought they were fairly expensive. Yeah.
So that's but on that one, go for it, baby. Knock yourself out. So I
throw a kid on a bitch.
Throw a kid on a bitch. Anyway, so I felt terrible about that deal. Anyway, so would you like to hear an email from a different Dave? Yes. Dave Not King.
Dave's not here, man.
Dave Not King. Dave Not King says, love the podcast and Unkie Phil series.
Hey.
The video. Nice. I figured I'd exercise my Patreon benefits with a question for you.
Hell yeah.
I am without a second car for a few months, so I need something to get around while my wife has the car at work. Everything that I need to get to is within 1 to 5 miles of me.
Buddy.
And by need, I mean work and the liquor grocery store, mostly liquor store. I've owned a lot of motorcycles, but never owned a scooter or moped. All your scooter talk has got me thinking about picking up a cheap, under $1,000 moped or scooter.
We're sorry.
I don't care. And get a buddy.
I don't care if it's only 50 cc's, 2-stroke, 4-stroke, or needs some loving to get running. It just needs to get my fat 270-pound ass,
buddy,
around at least 250 miles per hour. Or, I'm sorry, 25 miles per hour. 35 miles an hour would be even better. I'm seeing some bikes around me in the greater Portland, Oregon area at my extravagance price point, but I don't know what is shit and what is decent with parts availability. Any suggestions on what brand model should I be looking for? Thanks, Dave. Okay, dude, 270 pounds on, what did you say, $1,000 budget?
I say a C70.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
With moped baskets.
Yeah, and it's hard to find
and
it
you
for
carry. Yeah, and
hard
you
to
can
find it for $1,000.
Right.
Yeah.
But you can carry. I already know you can carry at least.
How many cases of beer? Steve?
Well, not cases, like 15 packs. But you can carry 7 15 packs of beer on that.
Oh yeah, you're right.
And if you want them to hang over, you can carry 9.
You know,
if you wanted to.
Yeah, I mean that's actually a
really good beer comes in 15 packs. By the way,
no, I mean, hey, all day IPA,
more beers.
All day IPA comes in a 15 pack. So
okay,
all right.
But
sorry,
yeah,
that's my COVID
so we need to go
jam.
on the Portland Craigslist thing and see what's available. They got
so it'll carry a 12 pack too, okay? Because a 15 pack is bigger. I'm just trying to say.
I'm just saying
Your maximum capacity.
So
more smiles to the gallon.
More smiles to the mouse. But here's the problem, though, man. And I hate to be this guy. I mean, because you're absolutely right. The folding baskets on your bike are clutch. Because when you're not using them, they're flat as fuck.
Yeah.
But then when you open those things up, it's ridiculous. They will hold anything. I mean, legitimately, they'll hold anything. But
under a grand?
$1,000. And that's where the problem is, $1,000.
Yeah, squeeze an extra 500, man, and then you have a lot of options.
Anybody want to see what the sold price is on this little blue beauty?
Probably 25.
Yeah, easy. 30, 25, 30.
$6,500.
What
I'm
year?
glad I have 4
For
of
a
them.
1980 Honda C70. My friends, we're not in the apocalypse, but we can see it from here. Yeah.
And those have points too.
And this
the
one-
82s have
And
electronic ignition.
now, granted, this does have 760 miles on it.
Oh, good.
But who fucking cares? It's $6,500 for a fucking C70.
Negative.
But
For a
negatory.
42-year-old
Does that
bike?
bring a trailer?
Let's bring a trailer.
Oh, that's the
Oh,
problem.
that's
right there.
ridiculous. That place is ridiculous.
I love it. It's totally ridiculous. It's insane. Yeah, whenever I'm pricing bikes in my shop, bring a trailer. Yeah. But for real, if you got $1,000 to spend and you weigh 270 pounds,
Buy a Vino.
bus pass.
I'm 250, so just so you know.
I mean, if you can get into a 125 or 154 stroke,
Yeah.
that'd be nice.
Yep.
Yeah, Buddy
It would.
125, you'll be happy as a clam. You don't have to worry about finding parts because it
If
doesn't
you
need
can find
any.
it for $1,000, it's
that's
good.
the hardest
problem.
thing. But you
That's
know
why I
what?
said if you can squeeze an extra 500, like you can find them for $1,400, dude. That's not a problem.
Oh, there's the Vino. Yeah.
125 Yamaha Vino.
Oh,
One of the absolute unappreciated darlings of the scooter world.
Yeah.
It'll definitely carry your 270 pounds around.
Yep.
It's 125cc, but it acts like a 90, so you're going to love it. It comes from the factory detuned, but it is a solid bike. They don't fucking break.
It's only a little bit better than a Chinese bike as far as I.
No, it is a Chinese bike.
That is a Chinese.
That is a Chinese bike. I guarantee it's a Chinese bike, but it is a decent bike, and you can buy them for $1,000 because they made a billion of them.
Or at least better than buying a moped. Moped is not going to go
that's
25.
I wouldn't pay more than
250.
$1,000 for one. I'll tell you
And
that.
Oscar, tell the man why he can't have a moped because you're the guy who owns one.
Yeah. You're not going to go over
10.
15.
Yeah.
And that's with a really nice tricked out fucking moped.
Well, he can, but he's going to spend another $1,000 pimping the thing out.
No, I mean, if you, but that's the thing. With $1,000 as a budget,
I
you would
would
have to put some kits on it, and you might do 25.
The kit that you
maybe
need to
30.
make any moped haul a 270-pound person, the
that's-
kit costs more than $1,000.
Okay, so Metropolitan,
My pick.
a Honda Metropolitan is slow as hell,
Yes, it is.
but it'll do 35. With my fat ass, mine will do my junky one with the air cooled one that I have.
Yeah.
That's fuel injected. Will do. I put a clutch kit on it, but it'll do 35.
Yeah.
It's got a flat floor, so you could stack stuff
Right.
where your feet are.
15 packs.
You can only get 3 15 packs there, though. But I
that
mean,
thing will
I'm
fit
just
in
saying,
any
if
late
it's just
30.
for a mile or 5 miles, and you're not going on a highway.
Right.
I mean, those are cheap now.
The thing that scares
Those
me.
have been cheap.
My pick.
Oh, go ahead.
My pick is the Honda Elite 80.
The Elite 80.
The CH80.
Yep.
Little difficult to work on if you got to clean the carb,
Yes.
but that keeps some of the
Yep.
punters away
It
and
does
keeps the price down.
Yes, it does.
Find one that needs a carb clean, get in there and do it. Mm-hmm. You'll be happy. Mm-hmm. It'll go around the world at 55 mile an hour.
Tom Pennington hates them to death because they are no fun to work on.
Yep.
But they are ungoddamn killable.
I love Elite 80s.
Yeah.
Pretty
They
easy.
are
I think you can get
ungoddamn
one for
killable.
under $1,000 or right around $1,000.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's a good choice.
Absolutely.
Solid.
Yeah, I think you're completely right. You can get it for that price. And you probably get a good one for that price. I mean, even in today's market. Now they only made this bike for 103 years. So you might have problems finding
It's
one.
the rarest of all Hondas.
There's, and you know what else is nice is they actually look better with a stolen milk crate on the back of them. Mm-hmm. So it's definitely that bike. I gotta say that you're right. That bike should be
For absolute I got to get A to B as many times as possible. And they're crazy.
Yeah. And I think, and you know what? You look fetching on it, as you can see in the movie The Brakes. It's a pussy magnet.
What about the Elite 150s with the flip up headlight?
Never going to get one for $1,000.
No.
Never going to get one for $1,000.
But they are cool.
Stay
though.
away from the
fucking-
Aero 125.
The
two-stroke.
Aero 125 two-stroke is only cool because it's a two-stroke, and it's
What's that?
I don't know what is it.
That's a lead with a bicycle front end on it.
Yeah, that's a mountain bike on the front and a lead on the back. Yeah. There you go with a big old International Farm Mall sticker on the back of it.
Those were special issue, order only certain dealerships.
Yes, exactly. Right. Limited production. That was what they called the Diamond Jubilee Edition. Yes. So big fun. I'm a big fan. This is the pop-up headlight you're talking about with the Honda Elite 125 or 150. Only time these are any good is when they're made into El Caucho. And if it's made into El Caucho, then you have found the greatest bike ever.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend doing any like Chinesium, like random small bikes.
Yes.
Unless it's a proven stuff
yeah,
that's been around for a while.
Yeah.
You're not going to get parts. You're not going to be able to service them.
Yeah, it's not even worth it.
No.
It's not. It really isn't. And I agree. And I think that's a dangerous move.
Yeah. You might find them for that
came up
price,
there.
but it's definitely not worth
No.
it.
Steve got his Simba for cheap, but I don't
Yep.
know. I don't think that's happening.
But I don't think that lightning's going to strike twice. I really don't. Like you can luck into some like crazy fucking barn find shit, but it is going to be really tough. And because he says he's going to ride around the neighborhood, it's totally fucking cool. No problem with that at all. So
no mopeds.
buddy. Now, let's say you're going to go into the 50cc market. A Buddy 50 will do 35. A Yamaha
Buddies in general.
Zuma does a pretty solid 35. The four-stroke Vespas, but they're not going to be $1,000.
No. The
Even a
four-stroke
50cc.
Vespas will not go 35.
Yeah.
So a four-stroke Vespa, the other day, we had a customer pick one up, and it's cold. It was like 18 degrees or something. And so the customer came to pick it up, brought a pickup truck that, it's a modern pickup truck, so it's 37 feet tall, two-wheel drive, lowered.
I know, it's so ridiculous.
It's fucking ridiculous. But anyway, so she shows up, and I'm like, yeah, take the bike outside. Now, they're fuel injected. Yeah, it's a fuel injected bike.
Oh, was that the orange one? Was that?
I don't know.
Was I here?
Yeah, you were here.
I came to get my title.
Yeah. How did that thing get up in the back of that truck?
Oh, me and you pushed it.
Exactly. Right. I had that thing pinned. Yeah. I mean, just like,
and it was not
literally pinned, and it wouldn't go up the ramp with nobody on it. So it wouldn't go up the ramp into the back of the truck with nobody on it. So I've heard, and this is an actual statement. I've heard people say, oh, well, they take a little while to break in. And until they break in, you probably aren't going to be able to go over 25 on them.
Then you'll be able to do 27.
Yeah. I don't think that you can measure. I don't think a four-stroke Vespa 49cc can be measured with the term horsepower. I think you might have to use, maybe hamster power.
And that's all.
Yeah, butterfly power. Yeah,
it's not going to be under a grand.
Was
either.
Oh no, it's going to be $4,000.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's what
so the kid in the leather pink jacket with the Croc, he was the recipient of it because the grandma was buying it, right?
He bought it.
Oh, he did.
He bought it.
Okay.
He bought it with his...
Look, man, I'm not going to get into it. I'm just not going to get into it. This conversation can go nowhere fast. Trust me. Just let that one go. Just let it go. Let it go. Let it go. We're not going to have that fucking conversation because nothing good comes from it. It sucks. Alex G from Johnstown, PA, not to outshine Chris. If you like this joke enough to read it on the podcast, I'll up from a $5 a month membership to a $10 a month.
Oh, we don't
membership.
care. Read it.
He's a $5 a month Patreon member. He's throwing it all down. He's putting his money where his mouth is, and he says if you read this joke on the podcast, he'll go from $5 a month to $10 a month.
Did you give it an eyeball?
What if we read it
no?
10 times?
Well, Chris is going to have to read it.
Now, but I will say this. If he ups to $10, he also gets the party line phone number.
Oh, yeah.
And I recently changed the party line phone number.
Okay.
So all the Patreon listeners are going to be getting an email to let them know
the new number.
that there's a new party line phone number.
Because the burner, he had to get rid of the burner.
I had to get rid of the burner. I had to. I was getting all kinds of advertisements for Russian airline tickets and all kinds of weird shit. Yeah.
That's because you're not a fascist.
I don't know. But anywho, you guys want to hear a joke?
Joke.
Oh, wait, that's Chris's line.
Go. Let's hear it.
This is Chris's line, but he's going to go from a $5 Patreon to a $10 Patreon. Do you want to hear a joke?
We want to hear the
joke.
Yeah.
Okay.
I second that.
How do you get a nun pregnant?
I don't know.
You fuck her. Ride fast and take chances. So that was Alex G from Johnstown, PA, and congratulations, he is now a $10 Patreon member.
Oh, wait, and Cinch is complaining about last week.
What?
Oh, you know what? Have you listened to last week yet?
You don't remember.
If you do, if
You said I wasn't that bad.
You weren't.
What's better than roses on the piano?
Two lips on your organ.
There you go.
Yeah,
Ba-dum-bum.
I know, man. I'm telling you right now, man. There is no doubt in the world. If anybody sitting at this table listened to the last 21 minutes of last week's podcast,
Oh yeah.
and if you could do it with headphones on,
Oh yeah.
if you could do it with headphones on,
I had John's mic shut off, and he was louder than all of us still.
I had to go back.
What?
I went back and Zaprudered that shit. I went back and Zaprudered that, and I watched your hands turning his levels down.
Yeah.
Like pulling the sliders.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God. And you had pulled the sliders all the way down,
Right.
and I was eating the microphone.
Right.
And I was eating the microphone and being, all right, guys,
Yeah.
thanks for listening.
But there's
And
3 missing frames from that.
The NPR.
you couldn't hear it
No,
because
he was going, ooh, for no reason.
again, we don't ever need to hear that ever again. Right. That's done. We don't ever need to go back there. That's bullshit. Fuck it. We'll get on to the rest of the podcast. I promise. Yeah. I know. It is fucking awful. But anyhow, we're not gonna dwell on that shit. Yeah. All right, guys, settle down.
It's a new week, John.
It's a new right. It's a
new day,
new world,
a new dawn.
Yeah. Can you guys see that?
Oh, hey, how you doing?
Yeah, right. So if you want
$10 a month.
Right. 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 I don't know if they can see it out there in podcast land. I don't think they can.
Good.
Good.
Well, if she turns around a little bit more.
That's
Right.
private stock.
Yeah, that's private stock, apparently. So anyway.
Do we know this person?
Well, let's find out.
Perhaps.
Let's find out. Joe Troy says, hi, Cleveland Motards. Joe Troy from the dirty South here, Atlanta, Georgia. I just wanted to say thank you for your continuing to produce your shitty 3-star drinking podcast.
Nobody does it better.
You're welcome.
I always look forward to the jokes and the wealth of information that you all bring to the table regarding two-wheeled vehicles. One caveat.
Uh-oh.
John's going to be very happy. John's like, oh.
Negative feedback.
Negative feedback. Ah! I have noticed there has been a distinct lack of Janus jokes recently. And I am grumpier than the sewer guy about that one. I know you can't please them all, but for all us assholes with a sense of humor of a 5-year-old, please bring back the Janus jokes. Speaking of ass.
We just thought the Janus joke stretched out way too long.
Nice comeback. Nice.
Speaking of
Well,
ass.
Smith has been thinking about expanding his Janus and getting a bigger 450 motor in it. So
A bigger Janus?
I didn't know you were.
He literally is thinking about expanding his Janus.
he is.
Absolutely true. If only he could find a Janus stretcher. So anyway, speaking of ass, I've included a picture of a respectable young lady for your pleasure. I hope it is as enjoyable as the brown liquor you are no doubt sipping on. That's right. Yeah. But I figured I couldn't send a message empty-handed. That's fucking good advice, by the way.
Man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Question time now. For those of us who are still young and stupid or who choose impractical bikes, what are some recommendations you all have for strapping shit down to potentially take small 3 to 5 day trips? Do I zip tie a suitcase to the rear seat? I currently own an MT-09 and figured it would be easier to make a lighter bike into an occasional tourer than to ride an FJ-09.
Yeah.
Like it's a super sport. Anyway, continue enjoying the hellish landscape that is the Midwest bipolar spring and happy riding. All the best, Joe Troy. And P.S. Fuck knock. All right.
Yeah.
This guy's all right.
This
man.
guy's all right.
And a nice picture. So
And by the way, I don't know if you can tell, but I think this young lady's had a tattoo removed on her right ass cheek.
yes, I noticed.
You noticed that?
Oh, yeah.
Now, do you think that's just made up?
Well,
do you think?
in the shape of my dick though? So that might have just been a slap.
I mean,
I don't know.
I mean, I'm not sure if it's coming through on the big screen or not, but I just can't tell whether or not that is a is that a heavily made up tattoo? Like she's trying to hide that thing,
Or maybe
right?
it's just
A bruise.
I think it's a
concealer or
bruise
something.
or something. I was getting
poor
a piece of
developing.
that.
You think somebody gave her a little like, "Atta girl." I believe they call that good game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
back
anyway,
in the car somewhere, the stick shift got her the wrong way. or
yeah,
something.
right. Yeah. Anyway, but there you go.
I just read a story about a girl that
That's
was.
at onlytammy.rr.
Oh, nice.
Hi, Tammy.
So she's a teacher.
I just read this story about a girl and a guy that were hanging out together, and they were doing what you do sometimes.
Yeah.
And she was into the thing of getting slapped.
Yeah.
Well, she forgot to say that her dog didn't know the guy very well, and the dog thought he was hurting her. And
Yes, he did.
Now the guy is getting reattached.
Yeah, he's being reunited with his member.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh man.
So the dog went
like a
Lorena Bobbitt
tattoo.
on him?
Yeah.
and he lost an important member on his Patreon.
Yeah.
Woof.
Damn. Oh, that's
Can't
crazy.
blame the dog. I mean, the dog was doing what he's supposed to do.
You gotta, come on, it's a dog. He's doing his job. You're beating up my mom trying to wrestle. Wasn't that? But anyway, so I thought that was fucking hilarious. So okay, now
Motorcycles.
let's talk about that MT-09.
Yeah.
Right?
Good bike.
Because it is a fucking good bike, but it does come with fuck all for storage. I mean, it really does.
They make back racks that you could slap a little box on.
And what did he say, MT-09 or MT-07?
9.
MT-09.
Yeah,
MT-09, right?
Yeah.
MT-09.
I've had good luck with those elastic elastic
The
nets.
flat straps.
That's cool.
with the hooks.
Spider-Man.
It's got, yeah, it's
Italian
got like a bunch of.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are good.
Those work really well.
They do.
But if he's serious about going on multiple trips in the summer, man, a top box, just one simple top box on the back of your bike, you can put so much in it that you need. Go at it.
I know you said cheap, and cheap and GV doesn't necessarily
Right,
go
yeah.
hand in hand, but it really is worth the money you pay for.
For anything GV that you may consider purchasing, I assure you there is fake GV from China on the internet, right? But the thing is, funny with shipping right now, that it's almost going to cost you as much money to get fake GV as real GV. So, go find a dealer that has GV. The GV top cases that I like the best are about $149. And that comes with the deck and stuff, but you're going to have to buy some device to put it on your bike.
Yeah.
Are you guys picking up this?
I think it was like
this
when
color scheme on this new MT-09?
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
I kind of like it, man. I got to say, it's got just a hint of that Disco Queen of Montana going on.
But it's probably
80s Kawasaki.
It does. It does. It looks like it's got that aqua color rims. I mean, like.
But you think that's going to be a U.S. model, or is that just for Europe?
I don't know.
Because Europe always gets cool fucking designs like that.
Hard to tell.
If you're willing to
Hard
spend a couple $100,
That's the other way you can get it. Yeah.
I really recommend.
I like that. I always like the white and black.
I really like that tank lock bag that I have, and you can get a bigger one.
Yeah.
And maybe you can put a lot of stuff just right into that tank bag because it's super handy to have it right in front of you. You can keep your phone in there, your wallet, or whatever stuff that's readily available. Like you pull up to a toll or something if you have to pay. Or
it's also choosing what you put in it because you can get that.
But the small one that I have, I mean,
clothes you could wash really easily.
Yeah.
I mean, like underwear that you can just rinse out and dry.
2-3 days. I mean, I've got myself down exactly. That's the way to do it. Is one backpack. So realistically, Merritt and I proved we can do 2 weeks. In 2 weeks in the Virgin Islands, one backpack each, right?
But you know what though? That's kind of cheating a little bit because your weather variance was 80 to 87.
Fucking Virgin Islands. We could have been naked for fuck's sake.
Right.
But honestly, if you're going somewhere that you can do that, obviously, if you're fucking vacationing in Minneapolis, you're not going to be able to do one backpack. So you're gonna have to wear all that shit.
Soft saddlebags. I mean, I've been fortunate enough to pick up a couple sets of those for free just from guys giving them to me or whatever. One was melted up a little bit, the one bag, but the other one was, you can still use it.
Duct tape is your answer, right? Duct tape is your answer.
Or a dry bag inside of whatever. You can get a dry bag for $5 or $10 and put it into whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the cost, those did he say he wanted to keep it cheap?
Yeah, of course he wants to keep it cheap. Yeah, I don't blame him. Yeah, I
think the top box is the best. I mean,
it's out of the way. It's
if you want to modify the bike.
Yeah, but you're gonna have to buy a kit. You're gonna have to buy the mounting kit. Like for my Versys, I had to buy the arms to bring back to put a plate.
It's gonna be a couple $100 to do it.
So this picture that I pulled up here right now, that's about as much as you can put on an MT-09.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot of shit.
That's plenty.
That's a lot of luggage, and that's soft luggage on both sides. Looks like it's got some kind of real light duty pannier rack on the side supports.
Just have some wires that kind of hold and support the bags.
The back seat though, the top case thing. If you don't have a chick sitting back there, you don't have a friend back there, it's going to be all you need.
It's cheaper just to buy a GL 1200. Boy, I don't want time to stroke out.
You can get a GL 1200.
He doesn't like
that's
those.
That's a riot. Yeah. Look, nobody likes working on them, man. Yeah. That I don't blame them.
Just get one of those single manifolds with a 32 DPD, whatever.
2-barrel carburetor.
You'll be fine. Put a car
From a
carb on it.
Volkswagen.
You'll be fine. Don't sweat it. You're good. So, but anyway, I just wanted to give service. I wanted to give service to our Patreons. One of our new Patreons, I wanted to announce him by name, is Nick DeVito.
Oh.
No way.
Look, dude just signed up. $5 level, too.
Thank you,
Nick joined at the $5 level.
Well, and then he's getting a house we're all going to go down and do this house
and
thing.
I thought it'd be fun to talk about that.
Yeah.
So that's really, really cool. And I thought it'd be fun to because this plan is coming together.
It is.
It really is. And
I already got the time off.
You did?
My boss approved it.
Oh,
I did not.
Good for you.
I'm going and you're staying.
I'm not doing your plants.
Uh-oh. There you go. So I really do. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, what did he say? It's going to be
March 31st
March
through April
31st,
4th.
right? Yeah. That's fucking cool.
What days are those?
Tuesday through Friday.
No. Thursday.
That'd be better.
No, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday.
Okay. All right. Yeah,
but I mean, is anybody going to? I want to ride down. Is anybody else riding?
I would do it if I could do it, but I can't do it, so I won't be going.
I do have it. I've ridden.
You could do it. Why don't you ride down for one day and turn around and come back the next? I mean, that's the type of thing you would do. I mean,
yeah.
Yeah.
It is. I mean, not for nothing, but that is exactly what he would do. It is. Pisgah, it's Pisgah, Pisgah, Pisgah National Forest. And it's got everything. It's got waterfalls.
Does it have Bigfoot?
Hold on,
there's a
let me check.
Sasquatch somewhere there.
There's, right on the map. I see Sasquatch.
Yeti.
Yep, you're good to go. Yeah. So, very fucking cool. And it sounds like a really good time. Yeah. And so it's about 540 miles away from where we are. So that's not exactly close. So
It's a day riding.
for 540 miles, I would probably be inclined to put whatever I was going to ride in the van. Because the whole idea is, again.
Well, here's the thing, too. There's a lot more stuff I want. We're going to be there for 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
I want to take my guitar with me. I want to take a fair amount of clothes, maybe some fireworks.
Yeah.
Well, that's why you're driving, and I'm going to ride down.
I'm definitely driving.
There you
I'll
go.
follow you.
Yeah.
You can follow me.
That's fine.
yeah.
Nothing.
Let me know.
There's nothing wrong
Bring
with
my
that.
grill.
Yeah.
My smoker.
You can bring whatever you
The
want.
idea being, though,
No,
there
it's
is.
just big.
Yeah.
So does anybody know, what are we riding down there? Are we just riding roads, or is what
what
No,
Nick,
I can tell you what you're not riding.
He said there's some off-road trails.
okay, so
I would plan on riding a motorcycle. I don't like riding roads.
Nick said he's bringing his CT 140 and his Super Hawk.
And this is like, this is 20 minutes or 30 minutes north of Asheville.
oh shit.
So, yeah. So that's where it is. But anyway, I thought that was really fun. And he's putting this together for us, and it sounds like it's very cool. I mean, I'm totally fucking digging it. I like everything about that. Super cool.
I'm probably going to drive down Thursday. So I'll be there Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and drive home Monday. Mm-hmm. If anybody wants to ride with me, you're more than welcome. I could always use a co-pilot because I'm a sleepy.
Right. Yeah, keep him awake. Yeah.
Or we could leave Wednesday, drive like 4 or 5 hours, get us a cheap fucking hotel, and then get there kind of early Thursday, like after work Wednesday.
It would depends on when he has the house. So I don't know if we get into the house on Thursday or Friday.
Oh, okay.
So you might be overrunning the house. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
But I figure even if he gets the house on Thursday, usually it's like a 3 o'clock check-in.
All right.
So I don't think he'll have it on Wednesday. I think he said
Can you-
Thursday to
What are you going to drive
Monday.
down?
I'll probably take my Kia with the 3-rail trailer.
Do you want to do that, or you want to take my 5x7? We can put a whole bunch of shit in there.
Well, I thought I could get at least 3 bikes.
We can get whatever. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Whatever. I mean, I'm flexible. We can do whatever.
I'll take the SP. That'll be a good trailer.
We could take that trailer behind. We'll haul 2 trailers. We'll have the.
Oh,
that's a
take
good
2
idea.
trailers. That's a
Yeah.
great idea. Yeah. That's a fantastic idea.
But where do you get the accordion material, like the buses
Yeah.
have?
Right.
That's what you need.
A bendy bus.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
My neighbor was telling me, so my neighbor Phil Guy, which we
Yeah.
all met, which I'm going to be dropping an episode on Moto Stories about. He was telling me about buses, like they retire them after 12 years or
Yes.
500,000 miles.
The way it generally works. Yeah.
And what they do with those bendy buses to lift them up and stuff. And there's certain, like that main thing can let the back end go up, but it won't go this way. It was fucking interesting, man. I had no idea how much shit goes into buses.
You sit around and get high with a bus mechanic, you might learn something. You might accidentally learn some shit.
Yeah.
So, somebody in this podcast likes liquor that's been on a boat.
And now
no,
moonshiners.
not again.
Moonshiners did a whole thing about boat aging, and it can make fucking whiskey in 6 months, make it like it's 5 years old, boat aging. Thank you very much.
Again.
It's for the temperature changes, the salt in the water, and the rock of the boat, if it's actually
Jefferson's
on the water.
Ocean.
How about if I try it and tell you if it's the same or not?
Yeah.
Because he's the only one with a palate.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Yeah. All right,
Yeah,
let's make it happen.
right. And so one of our podcast listeners was nice enough to send us over this news, and clearly, Chris Hop or Hoppies, because this is a cleaning product as far as I'm concerned. Anytime with HOPPE, that's the best gun oil I've ever had. So Hoppies or Chris Hop or whatever. But Philmont, New York, which you probably know where Philmont, New York is. But he's got to be a fucking pervert because he's got a 1985 BMW R65. 1980 R65.
Okay.
He's got a TW200
Good bike.
and a 92 Transalp.
There's nothing wrong with this guy.
How come he's not here?
Yeah, right.
I don't know why he's not here. But anyway, apparently, thespiritslab.com, the schooner Apollonia.com does this North River Rye. And North River Rye has spent time. It's a double barrel rye. It's spending time on the water changes you. So what happens to rye aged above a working ship?
It gets good.
Dude, he's Tucker Carlson in that shit. So what? So what happens to rye about it? He's not saying it makes it better. He's doing that whole. So what happens? What happens when you stick an entire bottle of Aunt Jemima up your ass? What happens? What do you think people think about that?
Well, the temperature rises, and it's
Right.
going to go up to about 90.
So what do you think happens? Don't ask me what happens. Fucking tell me what happens. You're wasting valuable advertising space. You're supposed to have an opinion or a take or a comparison or whatever. But don't ask me what happens to rye. I'm here to find out what happens. If you want my money, you're going to have to tell me what happens. But don't ask me what happens, because all he says is, we've loved working with Matt and the team at the Spirits Lab to create this uniquely Hudson River-centric product. Hudson River.
That's not ocean aging. Hudson River's gross.
I know. Right. Anyway.
No, it's nice up.
With a barrel?
Actually, it's nice up.
New York.
Yeah,
away
sure,
from New York.
Sure.
It is.
But now it's
Up
going
your
to get
Janus?
but now it's going to get into the sleepy bullshit. With a barrel lashed to the foremast, and you probably pronounce that foremast.
Yeah.
Foremast. With a barrel lashed to this foremast, because like gunnels, it's like Worcester. It's like Worcester.
Worcestershire.
Right. It's all you can't pronounce anything the way it's fucking written if there's a boat involved.
Right.
If there's a boat involved, you got to give some weird fucking.
It's not a rope, it's a line.
It's a line. Exactly. If it's not made of metal and rip your dick off, it's a line. Right. So this whole thing is like, yeah, okay. So it's on the gunnels next to the foremast and the pop deck or whatever. Like short everything. But anyway.
Yeah, I'm going to hit the head.
You're going to hit that. Exactly. Right. Well, watch your fucking duck when you go down to that. Yeah, exactly. Right. So lashed to the foremast of our 2021 season. This rye whiskey was like one of the crew, making multiple round-trip voyages connecting New York City and the Hudson Valley. So it was on the shitty part of the river. Yeah. It's a thrill to partner with so many great individuals and ventures ready to find creative ways to weave sail freight into something new. See you Tuesday. No, see you next Tuesday. No, see you Tuesday. A percentage of poor profits at the event goes to support Apollonia's mission. Look, that's fucking awesome. But I don't think there's any chance in the world that being a barrel of this being strapped to the foremast.
Dude, I'm telling you. Here's why. They were going over the science. So the pores in the wood.
The fact is they were going over the science does not help your credibility.
Oh, listen, man. the pores in the wood or whatever, they change sizes with the air temperature, right? And then the
Can we
salt
just put that thing to bed?
changes the complexity of the wood, and then the constant motion forces the liquor through the wood out and in more often than it would sitting in a fucking basement.
And if you swish it in your mouth for 20 seconds and spit it out.
They don't age whiskey in a basement. It's in a rick house where it changes with the outside.
Exactly.
I get it, but it's not moving with the boat.
So
It's
the
not
temperature-
sloshing around. It's
You know,
the
the
moist
one year-
sea
the
air.
one
It's
year
the
that
moist-
Kentucky had-
Like occasionally they pull those
Right,
barrels
they move
and
them around.
to a different part
They
of the
do.
rick house.
Every
They
day,
get
though,
rolled and
all day rolling and slushing.
Again, I'm going to tell you straight now. I've been on enough distillery tours to tell you, if I don't care if you want to use any brand you like. If Jim Beam thought that the liquor would be better if they kept the barrel moving, the barrels would never stop moving. All right. Yeah. Because they are competitively out trying to fuck each other. Like every one of these distilleries is like, oh, well, this is that, the golden barrel. It's the one barrel that's the perfect area of the house where all the barrels that are here are just the sweetest barrel. And you're like, why? It's 7 feet away from your shittiest barrel.
But you have to admit that agitation is somehow going to affect the product. And I'm not saying for better or for worse.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it could be.
But
I'm just
if you're-
saying, I'm on team boat liquor.
Look,
Well, this whole discussion is agitating me.
You're on Team Janus Liquor.
I believe like we were talking about those nautical terms. I believe you pronounced butt wrong.
Or window.
I'm on Team Butt Liquor. But it's spelled BOAT. Right, you understand? It's a nautical term. It's a nautical
I
term.
think you spelled bone wrong.
Yeah. That's it. Yep, I accidentally stuck it in her boat. You guys are awful. Fucking awful, man. I'm telling you. That is terrible. Oh, man. So, did anybody do their homework?
Yes.
Yeah, you did.
Some of it.
A little bit.
You looked at your shit? Yeah.
I got distracted.
Oh, yeah?
Well, yeah.
Just life in general?
Well,
or?
no, I was looking up the, what is it, the Hawk 11.
Oh.
Yeah.
But then I saw, I caught the ST125.
I know. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, you can do that.
But see, I haven't figured out which is the actual, like, these are all renderings. I don't think that any of them are the actual bike.
Oh, and that's...
And I tried to watch that video that I sent you all, but
Oh my God, yeah,
it's
yeah.
not a video. It's just like,
Just pictures.
Yeah, it's just
of it,
pictures. Yeah, it's just pictures.
it was nothing of the bike.
No, but
Because that's still a rendering, right? That's not the bike. They're not, because the D bike isn't coming out until the show. And
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, because it looks like the front end has been in an accident. No, I mean, it looks like the forks are bent.
The only thing they really
Yeah.
teased in that video was the front fairing, which that might be correct.
Yeah. Well, again, this is kind of what we said when the CB1100 came out, and we said, you know, okay, the CB1100 is the CB1100. What would make it better? What would make it more exciting? What would make it more fun? What would make me want to purchase it, perhaps?
They have other renderings that are completely different than this one. Where
But,
it's like
but this one, though, if you look at this one, right? So the tank is CB1100.
Yep.
The front fairing, even though it's a single headlight, it kind of has a 900RR with the holes in the thing.
It's got a little hint of 900RR
And then
in
the
it.
tail, you can get like an NSR 750, like the back of it. So that's kind of, they incorporated a lot of their old bikes into that bike, man.
a lot of different versions of the tail and the rendering.
There are a
Yeah, I'm
lot of
seeing
different
that.
versions. So there's a lot of different versions of the tail and the different renderings of the bike. But the point being, it is kind of fucking hot. It
That's
is
what it's going to look
kind
like.
of hot.
Yes, it's a
If
really
it
good
if
looking
it
bike.
comes in anywhere near looking like
It's a good
this,
looking bike.
it's kind of a good
But
looking
look
bike.
what happened with that BMW.
That's what I was just
1800.
about to say it. They teased us with that fucker for 2 years
I
and
know.
then they killed it.
Yeah.
Yep. And in this one too, if you look at this picture, it's got the single-sided swing arm, and
Yeah.
you're like, oh yeah. Whatever this is going to be, if they don't BMW R1800 this thing, which will be a sin that we'll talk about forever.
Do you know how many people would have bought that bike if they kept it? The
They
way
were also, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No. I'm just saying it's insane that they changed that bike.
I just see it on, they have a picture there. They were also teasing the CL 250 and 500,
Yeah.
a new CL
Yeah, absolutely.
Scrambler.
Absolutely. And I'm telling you, I am not hating the Hawk 11. I think they named it right.
Me personally, that right there doesn't appeal to me.
No, this is the most racetrack ready of the versions I have seen. Of the artistic representations I've seen, this is the one that is the most, it's probably, you know.
I mean, that's just a CBR Pirate with like some metal body work.
Yes, it
on
is. I agree. I completely agree. Yeah.
But it'd be interesting if they hot up that motor at all, because it's already a really nice motor.
It's a very nice motor. Yep.
If they make that motor give it a little bit more performance.
Yeah.
Well, there's plenty of room for it because when we were riding that CB1100,
Yeah.
it was really fast, but it was like it. You knew it had more in it.
Well, and gentlemen, if you don't mind looking at this particular picture, this one that's up right now, right? Right? Yep. Is that the right one?
First one.
Yep.
How many cylinders?
2.
Yeah, that's the Africa Twinny motor.
It's the
How many
F-
cylinders?
Looks like 2.
Looks like 3.
3.
4.
Oh,
Right?
Interesting.
It's 2, 4.
So
Yeah.
Is
Interesting,
it
huh?
two and is it a 2, 4 and a 2?
So this one has some badging on it. If you look real close on this one's got some badging on it that says Interceptor on the tank. Okay. So, but it's 4 cylinders and it's not a V4. So
It could be a twin with 4 pipes.
yeah, but it's not. Yeah, I get you. No, I'm feeling you. You're right. You're factually accurate. It is. But so this is weird because this is an inline 4 motor, clearly an inline 4 motor. It's liquid
Pretty
cooled.
narrow to be a 4.
Yeah, but it's clearly a 4. I mean, that's a 4. But it's got the word Interceptor on the side, which is some, that's, again, artists don't work at the factory. Artists don't. Yeah, right. So
if you can go back that one,
Yeah.
What's up with can we talk about exhausts and fucking like what companies are doing? Why are they doing this?
because you got to put the catalytic converters in there.
Yeah, so you got to pour it
Yeah.
to one, and then the
Yeah.
and then the
So if you can't, and that's the reason they all look the way they do, and that's the reason the BV400 scooter has got the world's weirdest exhaust now. It's
Can't
the
they
reason.
put a fucking can on the bottom or something? And like my Z900
Yeah, if you
came
don't
Oh,
out-
you mean like the Tiger 660?
if you don't want to lean it over, like depending on which bike, if you don't want to lean the bike over, they can put the can underneath.
It's okay if you have the clearance.
Right. But
that
sometimes
doesn't
you
look
have
like
to put the can.
exhaust
No, but
is
I'm
going
saying, no, but-
into the.
No, but my Z900 had the cat on the bottom and then the normal exhaust.
Yeah.
And so I obviously just removed the cat 4 seconds
And if
later.
they had if your cat is running between your rails, then you can do that.
Yeah, that's what
But
I'm
if you have an oil sump between the rails and you can't put the cat in there, and cats and oil sumps are not compatible
Sure.
because you don't want your oil running around at 700 degrees. So you got to keep the cat somewhere away from the oil. So that's kind of what. Yeah, it's a problem. It's a big fucking problem. And as long as we live in a country that says every motorcycle's got to have a cat on it, then we're gonna be having some.
Maybe
fun.
they'll start doing like cars, and the cat will be part of the exhaust manifold.
Yeah, and that could be it too. Like my Nissans, you're like, oh, I'm gonna take the cat off. I'm like, no, you're not. The cat is literally part of the exhaust manifold. It's not. It ain't going around. It ain't going anywhere. So, and then here's the last one I wanted to pull up. This one kind of honestly looks like it's the one that's most likely to become real. Because
that looks production ready.
It's a gas tank that we can recognize. It's a swing arm we can recognize. It's a motor that exists. That one might be the closest, and it's got the DOT shit on it, like the turn signals and the mirrors. So somebody went to the trouble of making this Hawk into probably a very, very close to real bike. And I thought that's probably,
It shouldn't even have a fairing. It should be naked.
Well, and that's a good, and that's a big thing about the Hawk too, because I've heard people complain that this, the front of this fairing looks like one of those ridiculous old British fairings where it's kind of looks like a nipple.
I'm not into it.
Yeah, a lot of people said they don't care for that. They don't like it. So rock on. That's fine. But I think that this particular representation of it, again, probably closest to real world if we're going to see this bike. And so if we're going to see it, I think that's going to be the version that we're going to see. I
want to stay far away from anything that derives from Africa Twin. Those guys are just like, there's just something.
And that's the 2 hour and 20 minute point from last week's podcast where shit got a little off the rails. Waiting to hear the customer feedback on that one.
I know. I'm looking forward to that.
Waiting. I'm pretty sure we're going to get a lot of love on that.
What did he say about Africa Twins?
Nothing.
Oh,
nothing.
We're good.
No, we're good. We're totally fucking fine.
What
Don't
are you
sweat
talking
it.
to? You said you weren't going to say anything.
Oh, sorry.
Dick.
So you guys know the Quail Motorcycle Show has been going on for just about ever, right?
Yes.
And one of the biggest things about the Quail Motorcycle Gathering was you had to have a gold-plated dick or some, there had to be some reason for you to be there. You couldn't just be like, hey, what are you doing this weekend? I don't know. Let's fucking go to Quail. It'd be great. I could hang out in Laguna Seca for a little while or whatever. Anyway, but, Monterey. But it is real and it's happening, and it is May 13th of 2022. But, and this is what's kind of fucking interesting, is for the first time in a long time, y'all are going to be able to buy general admission tickets.
Okay.
And so the Quail Motorcycle Gathering is not known for being particularly friendly to just, your average punter rolling up, right?
A ride-in show.
Yeah, run what you brung, right? But they are going to do some pretty cool shit this year. They're going to feature mini bikes. Oh. So if people that like you small displacement fetishists, they're going to have a lot of mini bikes there. They're going to have a lot of Harley Davidson 750 flat trackers and sport machines.
Mini bikes.
You said that's in Monterey, right?
Monterey.
Yeah.
So when
Monterey.
I was working in Monterey, California, at my old job.
It's Carmel. It's technically Carmel by the sea.
Right, yep. But they had the rough Porsche meet and the something house,
right?
Powerhouse or whatever.
Yeah.
Porsche meet. And so we were filming in the park across from there, and you could hear the cars running and stuff. Then we went downtown to Monterey to get something to eat. And the guys that go to those shows, it's all like 68 to 70-year-old dudes in bedazzled jeans with pointy fucking boots.
Affliction.
Oh yeah,
and 70-year-old guys wearing Affliction.
Spiky hair.
Yeah.
And then the shirts, when you roll them up, the inside's a different color. The thing. And then they were with all their secretaries. Like they weren't with their wives because they were all 24-year-old girls.
Yeah.
But they also had their race cars there, but then they had their almost race car Porsches to drive around town in Monterey too.
All right.
So it's really good people watching.
Great story.
Thanks.
Well, but
did you pull that out of your Janus?
Yes.
So, but here's what I will say about Quail is if you do want to go to one of the most where the bikes that you're going to see there are the fucking best. When you go to Quail, the motorcycles that you're going to see at the Quail event are the best bikes. You're not going to see garbage there. But here's what I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to read you.
I don't know. That's just all I didn't like that.
Well, so I thought I'd pull that up for you guys. So, but here are the lists of the classes. American, British, Italian, other European, Japanese, competition on-road, competition off-road, antique, custom modified, choppers. Extraordinary Bicycles and Scooters class. I love how it's Extraordinary Bicycles and Scooters class.
And GY6s.
But my new favorite is this. Harley Davidson XR 750s. Never a bad time. BMW 5 Series. That's picking on a particularly good series of BMW. So if you're going to have a lot of BMW 5 Series in one space, I like BMW 5 Series. And then the two-stroke, a.k.a. Braps. Now, you can't just publish the word Braps in quotation on your thing and take yourself seriously. And then it also says mini bikes, big fun. Hot rods and classic cars are for display only. Am I sensing just a wafting of MidOhio on Quail?
Yeah.
Do I think that Quail may have reached down and found a sense of humor? I think they may have. So anyway, there they are. So there you go. That's happening. And you can go to it and you can have a good time. It's going to be a lot of fun. If you're in California and you want to do it, that's a cool thing. And because tickets are $55.
Ouch.
So there you go.
Oh, the plane ticket's $25.
That'll be the cheapest thing you do in California.
I was going to say it's going to be the cheapest thing that ever happened at that golf course ever, period.
Me and my boss went to a tiny taco place. It was the only place we could find that we could get food and get in.
Right.
And like normal size meals, one beer each and a thing was like $140. It was insane. It's insane.
Yeah. I look, man, I'm telling you, but the Quail, what I like about the Quail and what I like about there is the $55 package gets you like your regular display thing, but I think for $90 you get the wine and cheese package, which I can tell you usually throwing the extra $45 down to get the wine and cheese package probably worth it.
Yeah.
If you take Steve with you, you'll get all the wine you want for free.
And then the cheesy jokes from John.
That was pretty cheesy.
All right. Since we haven't talked about electric motorcycles in 1.5 seconds, I know, right? Fucking awful, man. So since we haven't talked about electric motorcycles in a minute, the goddamned Swiss police department, being Swiss, masters of knivery, they have decided to buy SRS electric motorcycles from Zetto in the United States. And what I think
it's Smiling Dragon.
It does look like a smiling dragon. It looks happy. It's the first time ever a Zero electric motorcycle's been like, look at all my shit. This motorcycle is legitimately happy to see you. This bike is straight up is like, I got more gear than you can ever fucking imagine. I also like that apparently their telephone number for calling the police in Switzerland is 117.
Yeah.
Not 911, 117.
And in Taiwan, I think it's 119.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Reverse that shit.
Yeah, it's just to be backwards, right? Just to make it more complicated. If you dial 911, they send a pizza. But what I do like is this cage. There's this badass cage on the SRS that goes to what I know are all the frame mounting points.
Yeah.
And that's not fucking around because normally, crash bars are, are they going to make it better when you crash the bike or worse?
Well, they're good for fall over and dirt bars.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Right. They're not really good for hitting the concrete at 55. But this thing does legitimately appear to have hitting the concrete at 55 mile an hour bars. So well done for those guys. They got 2 of them. And I believe their commentary was basically like, she'll never hear us coming. So that was it. I love it, man. It's like, it's pretty cool. It's for cruising around Lake Geneva and not making a lot of fucking noise. That's cool. I think that's neat. And they're the SRS. So anybody that's ever ridden a Zero knows that the SRSs are fucking fast. And they're fucking fast and they're fucking good and they corner great and they're a lot of fun. And the idea of the law enforcement officers having them, which means 0 to 60 in 2.9 seconds of you're not getting away from me. And it's also, look at the pristine environment they're operating in. So wouldn't it be nice if you didn't have a motorcycle that made a lot of noise?
They just bought them to follow all the bicycle racers.
There you go, too. They're going to follow the bicycle racers.
Tour de Swiss.
The Tour de In the spirit of the cheese, there's some holes in the side of it right there. So that's cool. I like that. But anyway, I did want to let you guys were talking about the CB1100s a little earlier. Don't know if you saw this, but some maniac, some certifiable idiot, has apparently made a CB1100 body kit for the Honda Grom.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, that just hit me in the squiggly spots.
It did, and I'm like, I'm not a big fan of the Honda Grom in general because it's a Grom.
That looks cool.
But when you have the Grom R edition, the Grommer, and when you have a Grom R edition with gold wheels and the red, white, and blue 1980s Honda race team livery,
cool, man.
with a full fucking fairing, like I mean that fairing too. That fairing does look like a rifle fairing. It looks like the proper 1980s / early 90s.
Sleepy, you need a 3D printer, and your
Fuck yeah.
your TNT will look just like.
Oh my god!
I have a 3D printer.
Yeah, but nobody can print that. Jesus Christ, that
need a
looks
big one, a
dude. That
larger
looks
one.
fun. That does straight up look fun. I would never want to see me on it because I believe all the handsomeness of that motorcycle would disappear. I don't want the normal one. I don't want the normal 1100 looking one. I want the RR edition. I love the look of that thing, and of course, it just looks cool. I think it looks good. The whole tail section looks great. Beautiful fucking thing. I dig it. I'm a big
Is there
fan.
another
Yeah. Oh, there's
That
the
looks
money
good.
shot. Oh, and that Yoshi pipe hanging out the side. Spools on the back for no fucking reason whatsoever. Yeah, I love that. So that
is
and I'm gonna
sexy
give them a
shit.
free. I'm gonna give them a free fucking plug because I love their work. Whoever they are, TTR Motors.
You can only ride it with full leathers.
You can. Yes, you can. You're exactly
The
right.
same color scheme.
Yeah. Red, white,
white-
and blue.
white leather.
Oh, that is so fucking sexy. That's beautiful.
good.
That is beautiful. That is gorgeous. The tricolor livery is gorgeous.
And I appreciate anybody that does something so nonsensical that it's just cool.
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Or they can try the Solo Cup tracksuit.
I do.
That would also look good on that thing.
It is 350,000 yen, so it's $3,000. So the kit costs about as much as a Grom, right? But there you have it.
But think all the chicks you'd get.
Yeah, and this is the less exciting kit. This is
Chick singular.
Yeah, this is the CB1100R set without the front fairing. And I'm not going to show up for this one. This is fine. You'll get an also ran from me. I'll be like, yeah, that's all right. That's cool. Yeah. I appreciate that.
Well, you know what? You know what's fucking that up though? They have to change the headlight. You can't leave the headlight looking like a Grom like that.
Exactly. Well, you're right. And when you look at the difference between the CB1100R set and the Type R.
Yeah.
Yeah. And those little tiny ridiculous mirrors that will never do anything and won't work for shit. I don't care. It's fucking
they're
gorgeous.
perfect. Yeah, it's great.
You know who can put their head under that shield? No fucking body.
Yeah.
Ron Jeremy in his prime. He could have done that. I've seen a couple of videos, but that was like 30 fucking years ago. Yeah. When he was, just the hedgehog, as opposed to now, not just the hedgehog. So yeah, I thought I'd get got a big fucking kick out of that.
Hedgehog.
Yeah. Okay.
I like that.
We got to talk, guys. We have to have a discussion.
The VW fender thing.
Right. So
seen a couple
we've been
of those.
we've been to enough car shows to know that there's these rich white dudes riding around on one fender out of a BMW or an old Volkswagen,
Two. They're
right?
put together.
And then they weld another one to it.
Yeah.
And so they basically make a shell out of a couple of aluminum or fiberglasses Volkswagen fenders. And they make a little fucking scooter thing they ride around on. Again, I'd like to call your attention to the fact that this is an artist conceptual drawing because none of the things that are on it are real. But it is hard to Martini Racing color scheme, not bad, right? The overhead with the giant weird Cafe Racer bum stop seat. Now, but here's the thing is when you do ride this bike, you don't actually need to see a proctologist anymore because they're seeing you. There's only one riding position for that, and that is doggy style.
Look, no hands.
Look, no hands. Yeah. So as much as my initial like, ooh, I want to have that, my gag reflexes started to take over. And my gag reflexes started to take over, and I'm starting to go.
The bars are so ridiculously low. That doesn't look comfortable.
The bars
at all.
doesn't help. Right. The bars doesn't help. It's there's some things happening on here that are sexy, but there's a lot of other things that are
I
happening.
think that's the way it comes in the box, and you have to flip them up to ride it.
Now that makes sense. It's like a fucking Moto Compo.
Yeah.
You pull that out, you turn it around, you stick it back in again. You're fine. So that works. All right. Got it. Check. All right. Scooters. Aprilia. Aprilia launches a new scooter. Now, for people that listen to our podcast regularly or are in touch with the world of the scooter community, when they say Aprilia launches a new scooter, I'm going to tell you that just means that you won't be able to get parts for this bike in about 3.5 years. Okay? So Aprilia.
And the wiring is made out of angel hair.
Yes. Aprilia stopped making scooters very gradually in about a day and a half. They basically said, oh, we're only going to make the SR50. And we're only going to have one SR50. That's all we're going to make after a long history of making scooters. Well, they're a Piaggio company. They don't want to compete with their own shit, right? So when Aprilia comes out with a scooter, what everyone else is thinking is, okay, what Piaggio did it steal everything from? I don't know. I'm looking at this fucking thing and I can't figure out what Piaggio they stole it from. It makes no sense to me. I don't understand what this bike is. I don't know.
Doesn't look bad.
It doesn't look bad. I kind of like it, and I kind of like it more than I like the Honda ADV 150. And that's why I wanted to bring it up, because it's not an ugly bike. It's a good looking bike.
The ADV 150 is... The concepts made it look like the ADV 750.
It did.
Yeah.
And that's another example of concept bikes not living up to their concept.
This bike looks like it has
production
some
bikes not
legit-
living up to their concept.
Yeah, this looks like it has some legit ground clearance. Like, this bike kind of looks like it'd be fun to ride around on. It looks like it'd be kind of cool. Yeah, so I just thought that was fun. I just pulled it up because I thought SR GT 200 from Aprilia, and it's 200cc scooter. So it's hard to fucking hate that shit. So yeah, that's pretty neat. What did we also want? We talk about.
Isn't this like the news section?
It is
almost?
the news section. Yeah. Well,
Didn't they say the most hated part of the podcast is the news
They
section?
did.
Well, we
They
had to
said-
redeem ourselves.
We
and,
did.
get ourselves a little less canceled from last week.
Well, we haven't done it in such a long time. It doesn't.
And that's exactly right. Okay, so then the last one we're going to talk about, because it is only worth talking about because of the sheer fantasy of it.
But I want to talk
Wire?
about the chick who cut the guy's head off on meth.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wait a second. Whoa. So no.
After sex or during sex or whatever.
Whoa. Where did this happen?
In some meth-fueled sexcapades.
Yes.
A woman in, what was it, Iowa? Or
In meth-fueled sexcapades?
Yeah.
Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, a woman and man. She was, I guess it was an autoerotic asphyxiation type deal, and they were both taking turns strangling each other, and she was strangling him, and she's just speaking candidly to the police about this whole thing because she's just coming out of being strung out, probably still strung out on meth.
I was going to say, she's probably still out.
So she was strangling the guy, and she's like, I could feel his heart beating, and I knew he was still alive, but then at one point I just went for it, and I was getting off, and I didn't realize that next thing I know, he's, bleeding and he's dead. So I smoked some more meth, and I started playing with the corpse. Next thing you know, I cut his head off and his arms off and his legs off, and
They're all over the place.
I got pieces, parts everywhere. And when the police ask her what happened, she's like, "Good question."
And her name is Taylor. Schnotch your business.
That's your business.
But she's kind of hot.
Is that really what it is?
That's your business.
It does make you want to play with fire.
Wait, and she is. Wait, where is she? She's
Man.
Oh, yeah. I want to see the
Yeah.
I don't give it. I mean, like, honestly.
She won the
not that bad
chokeout.
looking, man.
That's what I was going to say.
I wonder what kind of bike he rode.
Yeah. I mean, look. There's got to be. You got to have a safe word, and you got to have a letter that says, "If you find this and I'm dead, I haven't been murdered because we just like weird sex."
That's what she said. She said, "Oh, sorry, thanks." She said that she looked down and he was alive and he was enjoying it. So she closed her eyes and got more into it. And then when she opened her eyes again, he had blood coming out of his mouth and he was no longer breathing.
Whoa!
So then she was like, "Fuck it, I'll cut him up."
Let me do some more math.
I don't even say,
And they just keep going.
right. And at that point, you're like, "Wow, wow! I kind of rode him off the edge, didn't I?"
Yeah.
And then go, "Okay, what should I do
fuck
about
it.
this?"
Yeah.
Cut him up.
Yeah.
All right. Cut him
Well,
up.
get
the
higher
lotion on the
first. I mean,
skin.
if you're
Nothing
gonna,
guarantees.
I mean, if you're gonna do some shit that's evil, you might as well do it high as fuck.
man.
Cranked
Oh
up
my
on the
God.
crankers.
Yeah.
So
Woof.
I did want to bring up just because electric. What the fuck?
The love wire.
The
Next,
live
I'd like to talk about Ukraine.
the Ukraine. No, we're going to talk about electric motorcycles because Harley's been having some meth. Apparently, Harley's been having some meth. I was very surprised to find out that last year, Harley Davidson sold a fucking solid grip of live wires. Would anyone like to guess?
I know exactly.
How many,
gaggle?
would anyone like to guess how many live wires got sold in the year that I sold the record number of motorcycles I've ever sold in 22 years of being in business? I sold my record number of motorcycles that I've ever sold.
They sold less live wires.
They sold less live wires than my shop in Cleveland, Ohio. So a company called Livewire, a company with billions of dollars of investors, has sold less motorcycles in 1 year than me.
They don't have your sales force though.
They just don't.
No, but they've got you and McGregor.
Yeah.
They've got a
He hasn't
lot
sold
of
shit either.
They got a lot of money invested.
Yeah.
They got a lot of money invested. And so they sold 387 motorcycles. Now, this is the same company that, with completely unsubstantiated numbers, said that in 2020 that they sold 5,000 live wires. Okay? When nobody could find any numbers to back that up. Okay? Nobody could prove.
Well, weren't they saying they were the #1 American electric motorcycle?
They did.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Model and color sold on Tuesday in Milwaukee
Yeah.
after 3 p.m.
Right.
By Harley Davidson.
by Harley Davidson.
To a guy named Tony.
2 crackheads.
Yeah.
2 crackheads. Anyway,
That chopped their people's heads off.
so the company that sold a blistering 387 units last year
Probably
has...
made good profit.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Because you know what? If you're selling pizzas, you haven't broken in yet. You've not broken even yet. If you have said, I'm gonna sell pizzas this year, and you only sell 387 pizzas at a 100% profit, you still haven't paid your rent.
No.
No.
How
you're
many?
fucked.
So
Well, you might have paid your rent. I saw a pizza this week.
Yeah.
That was as big as a long bed pickup truck, and as wide as a long bed pickup
Really?
truck. And it says on the box, "Please support in the center, or you will have a calzone."
Well, yeah. with a cardboard casing.
But my question to you though is, how many do you think they manufactured? Like, do they have a warehouse full of like 20,000 fucking live wires?
Well, they might, because their next marketing ploy may lean into that just a tad.
Okay.
Because Harley Davidson has committed, promised, suggested, lied, to sell 100,000 motorcycles
Oh my god.
There's no way.
by 2026.
Oh,
Even
Now
if
look down at your watch real carefully,
2022.
and you're going to notice that Mickey's other hand is pointing to 2022.
Yeah.
All right? You cannot sell 100,000 motorcycles
No.
in 4 years.
So 25,000 motorcycles.
You would have to be selling 25,000 motorcycles per year starting 4 months ago.
Yeah.
They
So,
got it.
so
They
in
did.
2026, you bring your thing in, you bring your live wire in, and they say, "I'm sorry, but your warranty on your battery expired a year ago. It started in 2020.
Look, man, there is this whole thing about like, you know, guys, I'm going to do it. I'm going to lose 20 pounds by Christmas.
Yeah.
Probably not going to happen, but I appreciate your enthusiasm. I'm going to sell, because last year I outsold Harley Davidson.
Right.
I did.
Well, Phil, you need to sell 100,000 motorcycles.
Look, I am closer to my goal than they are of their goal. It is actually technically more likely that I will sell 100,000 units by 2026 than they will, because I sold more than they did last year. Go ahead, Chris.
So I'm trying to put numbers on this.
Yeah.
So Harley Davidson probably has fleet sales.
Yeah.
Where they go around all the cities and stuff like that. So much like what we just saw.
Yeah.
So they could reasonably, pack away 5, 8, 10,000 just on fleet sales around the nation if they have those contacts.
But that would mean
and
that
aging out
Yeah.
fleets of Harley Davidsons. Don't most of them?
Right.
No, not most of them, but a lot of them ride Harley Davidsons.
Sure.
And are,
in the U.S. they do.
Yeah,
In the
yeah.
U.S. they do.
Does the live wire really lend itself to that though? I mean,
Not really.
Is it not going to be? Is it going to be a police bike? I don't see where
That's
you
a
put.
pretty bad police bike.
That doesn't look like
Yeah.
a police bike, a delivery bike.
but didn't we see the Zero was a police bike?
And
But it's a different style of bike, and you could put panniers and stuff on it.
The
Right.
Zero SRS is closer to a BMW R1250, RTP.
I'm just trying to guess
No, I get you.
their strategy because
Well, hold on. I'm gonna help you with their strategy because
I'll shut up.
Because again, with some people, the only thing better than telling a monster of a fucking lie is then doubling down on it. I love it.
We know people that do that.
It's my favorite thing in the world that when somebody tells a goddamn monster of a lie, then they double down on it. Because it wasn't enough to say that they were going to sell 100,000 bikes by 2026. Then they said, we're also planning on selling 190,000 bikes by 2030. So in case we don't sell 100,000 in this 4 years, we're going to add 90,000 to that for the next 4 years. Now, here's the thing. If you haven't shown any evidence of your ability to sell 100,000 bikes, which they can't sell that right now in the existing models that they have right now of bikes that would be in the same price point or availability of this machine. But if you can't, if there's no evidence that says you can do that, then don't double down on it and say, and we're going to make that number again for the next 4 years. Because you don't know what the fuck is going to happen over the course of the next 8 years.
Are they just trying to pump up their stock price?
Yeah.
Probably.
And it's the same trick that they did when they pumped up their stock price by promising to get rid of Livewire. So when Harley Davidson said Livewire is no longer part of our stock portfolio, when Livewire is no longer a part of our company, now they're taking it out. And again, now Harley Davidson, which has gone to an extensive amount of trouble to say, see that over there? That's Livewire. That's not Harley Davidson. It doesn't have the word Harley Davidson anywhere on it. Yet the news release says Harley Davidson is planning on selling 100,000 Livewire electric motorcycles every year by 2026. Not by 2026. They're saying 100,000 every year by 2026.
Oh.
This is madness. This is the definition of complete bombastic insanity lies.
So not 25,000 a year.
No.
100,000.
100,000 every year by 2026.
Sorry.
100,000 every year by 2026. That's crazy. It's crazy talk.
Crack.
It's crack. It is the hardest thing to imagine. But again, I just wanted to say, for anybody who's, and this is this thing, sometimes people say things. Sometimes people say stuff just so they can be on the front page of fucking Gizmodo or on the front page of, Tech Times Journal or CN News or whatever the fuck it is. And I think that's a big, big part of it. That when we say something like, I'm going to sell 100,000 bikes a year by 2026, you're only doing that so that you're getting free fucking marketing. That's all it is. And I hate it. I'm fucking sick of it,
But at what point do they end up taking their foot out of the shit they just stepped in?
We got a twat waffle in our town that has been telling people that he's building motorcycles in Cleveland since 1996 or whatever. And then every year he's going to be building these bikes 100% in Cleveland. The factory's going to be in Cleveland. They're going to be built in Cleveland. We're building them in Cleveland. And then after 7 or 8 years of not building shit in Cleveland and lying to every news agency, then he says, and now they're electric. And we changed the name of the company. And we're going to be building them in Cleveland to the 50,000 bikes a year, and we're going to create 1,200 Cleveland jobs. And he still gets on the fucking, the newspaper still prints his shit.
He's got a warehouse that he gets for $1 or something.
Exactly. Well, the point being, fuck it. Just go fuck your hat, man. Get out of the fucking way. Let somebody who's actually building something have a chance. Instead of going out and saying, you know what, if I tell this giant, ridiculous fucking Amazonian whopper of a lie, I'm going to end up on the front page of some fucking publication.
They think it's going to be a self-fulfilling prophecy.
That's exactly.
That's what he read the book where if you dream about it, you can manifest it.
Oh,
fake it till you make it.
Right. Yeah. Well, there you go. So anyway, that's one of those things. And so Livewire, fuck you. And fuck a statement that you're going to have 100,000 bikes per year by 2026, because I don't believe that. You can't make me believe it. You can't make me entertain the thought of believing it.
This gives me an idea, though.
Yeah.
So if they do, will you fuck a hat? Like,
yeah. If they do 100,000 bikes a year
for
I'll
4
fuck my
years,
hat.
4 years
for the
in a row.
record is, I'll fuck a fresh hat because I fucked this one already. It's delightful.
One of those pussy hats from the William Warmer.
Have you tried fucking this hat yet? It's a really good hat.
I'd rather
You might
save you in
not
a
fuck
bag of
any other
smashed
hat.
assholes.
Like, honestly, you might never fuck another hat.
I mean, I'll give it a shot.
We accidentally, when we designed this new Cleveland Moto hat, we accidentally designed a supremely fuckable hat. Like, it's crazy how fuckable this hat is. Like, it's delightful.
Do you
It's got the
Sewn in
reservoir tip.
fuckability.
Do you have a particular fold you like?
Yeah.
Or,
I do.
It's the Fifi. He
I
does
do.
the jail Fifi.
I call it the chalupa. Yeah, it's called the chalupa. Yeah, if you do the chalupa, just
you going in-
I tried the gordita. The gordita doesn't work. With the gordita, you got to double it, and that doesn't work. I
Are you
don't
talking
recommend
dry,
it.
or you're going to have to wash this off when you're done?
I think well, the trick
turn it
is
inside
what I
out.
found was get the hat a little wet, throw it in the microwave for about a minute and a half.
Yes.
Yeah, you are never
I'm
gonna
thinking
get.
add a little Dawn dish soap.
Ooh, that burned.
What's your favorite lotion? Right, because then it keeps your scalp nice and wet too. Keep moisturizes your scalp at the same time. Look, I'm not joking.
A little conditioner.
Renee's about to put these on the website, like with a place you can click and buy one. And we've had people because of the podcast saying, "Fuck, I'm not waiting. Just send me a fucking hat." And so they're hitting us up on the new hats. But this thing it is crazy. Like it's crazy soft. The old hat we had, no, you will.
No bueno.
No way. You'll end up with road rash on your dick. Those were, they were a little scratchy, right? But this one's nice. This is a good hat. I do recommend, like I said, don't do the gordita, do the chalupa, and you'll be fine. You don't have to put it in the microwave. That's just me being fancy, but you can do what you want. That's fine. I'm not going to get into that. But anyway, Livewire Harley, whatever, is not going to make 100,000 bikes a year or sell 100,000 bikes a year.
Even if they consider that
by
the numbers
2020.
that they're trying to promise is out of their doors and into dealers.
Yeah.
It's not. It's not.
Hey, so you want to be a Livewire dealer? That's great. We're just going to
Here's
send you
1,000.
Here's 1,000 bikes.
Even if they did that, they can only do that for a small amount of time, and then they're
Whoa! Bitterman's Alamakaluli Tiki. All right, hold on.
What is this?
That's for yours.
This is for consumption. This is for my consumption. I love bitters. Oh, look at that. That is dark as night. Oh, that's good. Oh yeah, that's a good tiki. That's a good.
It just came in the mail today.
Oh man, that's good. And you know what? If you do a little, like one drop behind each ear, that is fantastic, man. That is really good bitters. We'll play around with that later.
For a toothache too, it's got clove oil.
It's clove.
Oh,
I
really?
can smell
got
the
a
clove
toothache.
oil. Yeah.
Oh shit.
Oh, this is like you smell. Get a good snootful of this. You'll think you're at a goth bar. Yeah. Yeah. You'll
9
swear
Clubs,
to God.
1989.
Yeah, you'll swear to God you're at a goth bar. No doubt about it.
Yeah. That feels good.
All right. Yeah. So that's that. So that's we're doing that. So that's badass. So remember when we were talking about like snow machines and snowmobiles and all that kind of fun, crazy crap? Mm-hmm. Well, I would like to thank the folks over at Polaris.
Oh yeah.
Because Polaris has officially launched their entire line of timber sleds. Yeah, buddy. And now it is no longer vaporware. It is put your fucking order in and go crazy. Because I couldn't be happier, but they are, for us, for gentlemen like us, they got the Ripper.
Yep.
And the Ripper is, the exact right thing for what we're doing. Because it is for the CRF 100 chassis.
Right.
Which is, I think, what we're rocking around on. And close
Pretty
enough
much,
for rock
yeah.
and roll.
It'll fit.
right? Yeah, it'll work. And it's also, I'm just going to say, it's also affordably priced. So,
Yeah, there he is.
yeah. So the Timber Sled Ripper is out. It's happening. You can place an order for it. And I swear to goodness, man, this thing is just begging to be in Steve's backyard.
Yeah. I like that.
It is going to be very, very difficult for me to not be putting a couple of bucks every week into the swear jar to just have this goddamn thing. But this comes with a 93-inch track.
This is really every kid's dream.
I know, it looks so
A
good.
mini
Isn't
bike
it?
with a track and a ski on the
Isn't
front.
it?
I mean, like,
Yeah.
I
how many
mean,
years?
come on, man.
Then you have a build off.
Yeah, there you go.
With Malort.
We'll see how many people can build it wrong, right? So anyway, not to get into minutia here, not to get into like too much bad stuff, right? But they make this for all kinds of different bikes. This is the ripper, though. This is for the kids. This is for us. This is for the drunk guy, the drunk uncles in the backyard.
And there's a video on YouTube you can see one of the pro timber sled dudes. He got it for his kids. And they went out into like whatever mountains that they ride in. Oh my God. And he was really interested to see if the kids could keep up with him. And the fucking thing rocked, man. Like it was right there with him on, he wasn't going ape shit or anything, but still, it was cool.
And $2,299.
Yeah.
So now we're kind of like, that's kind of approachable. Yeah. Now we're at the point where like, look, I'm not expecting to go 50 miles an hour on it.
Well, the good part is that means that in 6 months on Alibaba, you can get the gripper.
The gripper. 6 months. But what I did want to bring up, the reason I wanted to bring this up is because either going through SSR or going through our friend Jack. So, Power Sports Warehouse has motor kits. So if you want to call them, I'm trying to remember the name, but I think it is Power Sports. He's the guy. Wholesale Cycle. Yeah.
Oh,
so anyway.
With the Piranha stuff?
Yeah.
He's a good dude.
He is a good dude. And why I bring that up and why I think that's important is because Jack over there has got those motors that fit into our bikes.
Yep.
Up to in the neighborhood of 190 cc's.
212, I think.
Through 212?
Yeah.
Now we're moving some snow.
Yeah, right.
So now you've got, right? I mean, are you guys picking up what I'm laying down?
Yeah.
Because in a 125, you're having a good time, right? But
well, think about this. We've never got out of second gear.
I know.
Yeah.
So I wonder, I mean, like, do you need more than 125?
That could be true too. I get it. But some of the motors that he's doing, some of the engines that he's rocking are serious power. I mean, like some real fucking power. So then I'm starting to think, okay, well now if you're going to buy a complete out of the box motor for, $300, $400, whatever, you can get a whole lot of engine with semi-automatic and electric start and whatever you want to do and put them into the bikes we already have.
The Daytona 212 makes like 22 horsepower or some shit like that. It's crazy.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's pretty fun. So if you did want to set up, because a timber sled, like a real timber sled, like an adult-sized proper timber sled, you're staring down the wrong end of $10,000.
Oh, easy. Just for the modification.
The kit is over $7,000. Yeah.
And also the thing is, the bigger small motor, like the 212s, the Daytonas, a lot of those have overheating problems.
Oh.
Timber sled, problem solved.
Oh, I didn't think about that. You can't overheat when it's 21 degrees out.
Right.
Yeah, right. I didn't really think about that, but you're absolutely right. And that's a big goddamn deal. So I just wanted to say, that's a very interesting thing when we start joking around and talking about like, oh, fuck, I'm going to play around with a timber sled. There's some serious real power out there that can be had for not that much money. And I did look up the kit, and the kit exists for the CRF 110, the TTR 110, and the KLX 110. Cool. So that kit's available for all three of those bikes. If you want to, you can a la carte it. I pulled up the sheet here so that people can see that you can get like kind of whatever parts you want to do if you want to, build your own version of it or get halfway there or whatever the fuck it is.
Speaking of modifications, John, I was eyeballing your sled,
Mm-hmm.
and then I was at Rural King and I saw some wheels that would look real good underneath those rails to take to MidOhio to make the real booby bouncer.
I'm all for it. We could do whatever.
Nice.
Right, yeah.
Okay, that sounds pretty goddamn good.
And are you attached to the paint job?
No, not at all. I want it to get repainted.
Okay.
Oh.
And I have the fairing, and there's a front fairing for it in the back of my car.
Oh, cool. All right. Nice.
Nice. Yeah, so you're right about the pricing. I
saw your paint booth.
What? Oh.
The cardboard.
No, that wasn't mine. That was Nick's.
Nick's. Oh, okay.
Nick's was the cardboard paint booth?
No, my paint booth is still disassembled after everybody helped me disassemble it and throw it in the garage.
You went out. I know you went out there with every intention of moving that thing in situ in one piece, and then when I saw the picture, and it was like fucking IKEA furniture.
Yeah.
Was that taped or glued together? What was going on with that?
It was I screwed it together, and then like I was getting air leaks and stuff.
Yeah.
So then, and also I wanted to make it stronger, and I didn't think I was ever moving. So I used like the clear, strongest fucking caulk that you've ever seen in your life.
Okay, all right, yeah.
And I caulked the whole thing. But the cool part was that with needle nose, it was able to grab one end and just like, and it just pulled out like a big
pulled
snot.
Okay, I get it. Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah.
So the cheapest way you can buy a timber sled, if you're not buying it for the child's bikes that we like to ride, would be to buy the Riot. The Riot 120 is their down market, and the Riot down market, that kit is $4,499, so $4,500.
So I watched the video, and the bike looks amazing. It looks really cool, but it does give me like the wet bike vibes.
Yeah, it does too.
Because I mean, a snowmobile is wide enough. It gives you the comfort. It still steers for shit, but at least you have a wide track. You're not tipping over easily.
Yeah.
That thing looks sketchy as fuck.
It does.
But that's what allows you to do cool shit on it, though.
But
it's
same
one
with the
half
wet
of the
bike.
one.
He's not wrong. When you watch all those videos, those guys riding the wet bikes in the 70s, you know, you're just like, the guy's like, all right, yeah, we're going to go out. We're going to ride the wet bike right now. It's going to be great. It's going to be a good time. And we're just going to hop on here real quick. And, you know, and he's gone. Right? He's fucking gone. And that's it. And that's exactly how you have to ride that. Right. There is no way to ride that thing at like, I'm being comfortable and being cool and look at me, I'm being chill and like being nice and approaching it all sentimentally and shit. No, and I think on this, it's the same thing. I don't think on this you can coast. Yeah. Right. I don't think there's any
Did you see the ad I sent you for the guy selling the wet bike? He had two of them and he's like, he goes, having two of these is just too much. I keep getting attacked by eagles.
What?
Because he's like, when I show up to the lake with two wet bikes, he's like, the Eagles in the America just starts happening.
It's just too much America. It's just too much America. Fuck that. That is
like, you will be the life of the party and the stars of many TikTok videos if you buy this.
You're just gonna die. There is no getting around it. I don't think they could even sell a wet bike. Right? A wet bike that exists in the world to anybody without like one of those no backsies clauses. Like if somebody shows up, if I got 17 wet bikes and I'm selling them for $1 a piece, everybody's going to sign in blood that they're not going to return it. No, it's gone and it's gone forever. Fuck you. It's never coming. It's never gone. It's never going to come back. I hate it.
But it does look really cool.
It looks cool in a weird really James Bond kind of way. Yeah. Yes. There's no way you can possibly ride it. It's not meant to actually operate. It's meant to be like something that exists as an aspirational thing that you're going to ride someday. But I know, like I said, I know 3 people that can ride them, and none of them ever at 1 second look like...
2 of them are you.
One of them is not me because I barely rode that fucker. I successfully went out with it, and I semi-successfully came back with it. Jason Dietrich, our friend JD, nailed it. Scott, obviously the owner of it. Yeah. Scotty nailed it. But no point did any of them look like they were having fun.
No.
The look on their face was always like, like they were basically just barely holding that shit together. Barely holding that shit together.
It might as well be a snowmobile on water.
It should. You know what? And that's what it is, too. I would think that we could all do better riding your snowmobile on any body of water than riding a wet bike that is engineered for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say,
Easy.
You think that's fair?
Yeah.
I think it's fair. I think we could all start on dry land at the same place we rode the wet bike, or some people didn't ride the wet bike.
Sleepy was doing it on his fucking little...
That's true. That is fucking true. Right, yeah. So I would say if you're ever thinking about buying a wet bike, just buy a $500 snowmobile instead and wear a PFD.
Yeah.
Right. And be willing to the fact that you might have
a wetsuit too.
A wetsuit would be a good idea. Right.
Attach a 55-gallon drum to the back and just,
floaty.
It'll float.
Right. I can see that. All right. So in the spirit of the Africa Twin, I decided to go check out the local auctions.
Oh, no. I'll stab you if you got one.
Dun, dun, dun.
Ruh-roh. Is this showing up? Y'all seeing that?
The blue? What is this thing? Oh, silver.
So it's a silver one. So it's a silver Afrika-Zwilling. So it's got some crash bars. Looks like the SWMO Tech crash bars on the front.
$4,200.
I will stab everybody.
Yeah. So I believe I could be wrong, but I think this is a DCT. I think, and I only could figure that out. I looked up the model number, but I love how on the Honda crankcase it says use JSO MA oil only. Right? It's like they listen to our podcast. But yeah. But it looks pretty good. It's been in the mud. It's definitely fallen over on the right-hand side once, for sure. It's got a little bit of, witness marks on the end of the bar ends. It's got a little bit witness marks on the mirror.
This when people sell bikes that look like this, they say used as an adventure bike.
Or right, the
it's been crashed,
correctly broken in. Correctly broken in. There's a little bit of garage rash here on the right cheek, I guess what you'd call that, right?
Yeah, sure.
So there you go. So I'm going to be keeping an eye on this one, just for all the parties involved, just so people can see. That's the bottom of the right-hand foot peg. They got it folded up. I don't think it's resting in the broken position. I think it's just the way it is. And there's a little bit of road rash on the bottom of the cover there, that cosmetic cover. So yeah, it looks pretty fucking good. And I do say it's not anywhere near as pretty in gray as it is in red, white, and blue, or red, white, or blue.
I still didn't see. I don't know if it had a shifter or not.
We'll
get to that, I guess.
Yeah, I think we will get to that in a minute. So, but it appears to have OEM exhaust on it.
Yep.
So that's pretty good looking set. See what's missing down there?
Yeah, it is DTC.
It's
broke.
It is a DCT. It is not. I do not see a shift lever.
Yeah.
Or this is they left the shift lever at the scene of the crime. Right. So no, this is a DCT. So yeah. So this, I mean, I don't know. It doesn't appeal as much to me because it's the DCT. But anyway, it's different strokes for different folks. Yeah, but anyway, it's 2016. It's got 4,947 milliers on it. And they're saying the clean wholesale value of this bike is $9,000. That's not what it's going to sell for.
I was going to say all pre-crashed and everything.
That's not what it's going to sell for. They're saying that with an 85 score, so it's got an 85 score on the cosmetic. It's got an 88 score on the motor, right? So condition scores. So the condition scores are good. And it's 4,900 miles. So they're saying that clean wholesale, its value at clean wholesale is $9,000. That's not retail. So it actually means, what year's yours?
2016.
2016. It's got 6-speed transmission.
Yes.
Right? It's prettier color.
Yeah.
Got more shit on it.
Yeah.
And so if you paid anywhere near $9,000, you win.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah. So there you go. So you win, but I will be watching this to see what it actually sells for, because I'm curious. So I am a little bit curious, want to see what this one actually goes for.
So what was interesting?
Yeah.
So I went, I got my plate, I did all the things, and then I called I emailed my insurance guy, and I said, hey, remove the FJ and put on the Africa Twin. He's cool. And he's like, what? Another bike? Whatever. Yeah. It lowered my insurance $65.
What?
Yeah.
Wait a second. How the fuck can you?
I don't know. Newer bike.
It's a newer CCs, bike. It's more CCs.
$65 less.
How the fuck does that happen? How do you lose 65?
I don't know.
$65 a year?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, but still, $65 less.
I think it's because only old men ride Africa Twins.
I think they're right.
Because think about it. Your other bike could be lightly construed as being sporty.
Sure. Oh, it's a 140 plus mile an hour bike.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. But we know that the Africa Twin is not as fast as a Versys 650. So, yeah.
When he goes up road,
there we go. Right. So. Go figure. I don't fucking know. But the fact is that I love the fact that the insurance is cheaper. Yeah. I love the fact that the insurance is cheaper on the Africa Twin than on your not Africa Twin.
Right.
But I think it's just because old men ride it.
Yep.
Yeah. I think that's all it is, man. That's it. That's all I got. In the spirit of keeping the world aware of dumb thieves, we do have an update on the Motorcycle Consumer News has fulfilled my fantasy, and that Motorcycle Consumer News is still in fact posting pictures of idiots doing dumb shit with motorcycles. And this group of idiots used some motorcycles and a Vespa to breach, and it's not a little Vespa, that's a Vespa GTS. So they used a Vespa GTS to breach the doors at a high-end luxury watch shop in downtown London and got away with $500,000 worth of Rolexes, which I think that might be Rolex. I'm not sure. Yeah. But anyway, so this potato fucking eater, this rectal masturbation enthusiast, he managed to get busted with his buddies, and there they are at the scene of the crime. There they are. Is that fetal alcohol syndrome I'm smelling on him?
Yes.
Why are his eyes so close together? Yeah, his eyes are very close together.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, but yeah, for real. So Wayne Russell, Wayne Russell, 23, of no fixed address, was sentenced to 4 years in prison after pleading guilty to conspiracy to commit robbery at Southwick on Crown Court. He was also sentenced to 16 months for possession of an offensive weapon. Apparently, while all of his buddies broke in and stole $500,000 worth of Rolexes, 35 watches, he stood outside with what was called a zombie knife. That's what the report. And we know what that is. A zombie knife is like a big fuck off knife with, serration on the edge. It used to be called a Rambo knife.
Right.
Right. Yep. But then we evolved as a culture. So anyway.
I remember the day I got my Rambo knife from the fucking surplus store with the compass in the fucking
Had a hollow handle.
Hollow handle. So you could put matches in case you had to light a fire.
You know what the best, what the sign of a quality knife is? A hollow handle. If the blade ends at the handle, that's a quality knife. Yeah. Safety tip, folks. The blade's supposed to go all the way through the handle. Right. If your blade ends at your handle.
No bueno.
Yeah.
Oh, and the fishing, the metal fishing string with one hook.
A little fishing wire. Or that could be used as in a garrote if you were a ninja. You could choke people with
and
it.
you could cut wood if you went back and forth with it.
Sex partner's head up.
Yeah. So anyway, so this fuck nugget, stood outside of a watch shop. Mr. Wayne Russell stood outside of a watch shop with a very large fucking knife, preventing security or members of the public from getting involved. After he fucking yeeted a goddamn Vespa through the front door, by the looks of it. Look at that. Look at where that Vespa is. Yeah, that had to make some noise.
You said he had an offensive weapon. Every date I went on, girl would say that I had an offensive weapon.
I think the same thing. Again, same jam. But dude, they did get away with $500,000 worth of Rolexes.
But you know what? That's what
he's got
saying,
a fixed address now, though.
But you know what? Okay, if you did steal $500,000 worth of Rolexes,
you're getting like $15.
Exactly. The best you can hope to do on that is swap meet Louis, because you're gonna be like, oh yeah, sure, it's a Rolex. Yeah, it's in the box and everything. It's all great. Who knows? You know, with a Rolex.
Every gear has a fucking serial number.
Every gear's, and it's got the crystal's got a serial number on it. The bag it comes in, the little Crown Royal bag's got a serial number on it.
The box. You can buy a box for $500 fucking dollars.
It's bullshit. Yeah. So it's just one of those things. It's like stealing. It's like a dumb thing to steal.
Yeah.
It's like I stole a Lamborghini. Good, drive it.
Yeah.
Have fun with that. Yeah. Right. Go do it. To steal a jet. Yeah. So anybody got a joke for me?
Yay.
Bring it on, Chris.
One thing nobody noticed.
You got no beard.
Thank you.
Yeah, you got your summer face.
I don't to look at your face, so I didn't.
He did his spring cleaning a month early. Yeah,
I sat here the whole podcast. Nobody said anything.
I noticed it. I noticed as soon as you walk in. I was like, well, so now I guess we're all going to have to clean up.
I noticed it. I felt it.
You felt it. Oh, wait a second. Ouch.
A Mexican is strolling down the street of Mexico City and kicks a bottle lying in the street.
This may be offensive to one of our podcast members.
You're reminding Oscar of home as a kid, dude.
Pick that one when I'm not here.
All we've done so far is identified location.
Okay. Right.
Suddenly out of the bottle comes a genie. The Mexican is stunned. The genie says, hello, master. I will grant you one wish, anything you want. The Mexican begins thinking, well, I really like drinking tequila. I wish to drink tequila whenever I want, so make me pee tequila. The genie grants him his wish. When the Mexican gets home, he takes out a glass from the cupboard and pees in it. He looks at the glass and it's clear, looks like tequila. Then smells the liquid, it smells like tequila. So he tastes it, and it's the best tequila he's ever tasted.
Okay.
The Mexican yells to his wife, Consuelo, Consuelo, come quickly. She comes running down the hall. The Mexican takes another glass out of the cupboard and fills it. He tells her to drink it. It's tequila. Consuelo is reluctant, but goes ahead and takes a sip. It's the best tequila she's ever tasted.
She was like, I heard that one before.
The two drank and partied all night. The next night, the Mexican comes home from work and tells his wife to get 2 glasses out of the cupboard. He proceeds to fill the 2 glasses, and the result is the same. Tequila is excellent, and the couple drinks until the sun comes up. Finally, Friday night comes. The Mexican comes home from work and tells his wife, Consuelo, grab 1 glass from the cupboard, and we will drink tequila. His wife gets the glass from the cupboard and sets it on the table. The Mexican begins to fill the glass. And when he fills it, the wife asks him, "But Pancho, why do we need only one glass?" Pancho raises a glass and says, "Because tonight, my love, you drink from the bottle."
I approve.
Long way around, but that's the punchline.
How many
you drink from the bottle?
How many ponchos do you know?
Yeah,
One.
yeah, we do.
We know one.
Okay,
I mean,
one.
legitimately,
Yeah,
we know one.
Excellent.
Yeah. That's. I mean, I hate to say it, but it is.
Me.
I was gonna say it almost is one of those things. You're like, oh, really? Yeah, you got Mexican friends? I'm like, yeah, it's good. I was like, and so you're trying to tell somebody. He's like, yeah, I'm hanging out with my friend Pancho. Dude, you're making that shit up. Like, seriously, now you're a racist. I'm like, no, that's his name. Like, that's what we call him.
Yep.
That's what he told me to call him. Yep. Right? He had an opportunity to be Rick.
Right.
He could have said, call me Brian.
Right.
Yeah.
No, he said Pancho. And so here we are now. It's Pancho. And that's it.
It's like somebody saying, call me Billy Bob.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, exactly.
you have your friend Billy. I mean, I'm sure that other countries say, Billy Bob's. The Billy Bob's over in the United States.
Get my Bush beer. Billy Bob.
Amen, brother. Amen. Anybody got anything else for us?
No.
No, I think that was a clean podcast. I got to say.
That was
pretty
much
clean.
better than last week.
That was our apology
Oh,
cast.
boo-hoo.
I thought last week was much better, but if you think
I thought last week was much better too because there was liquor.
Yeah, look.
I brought a bottle. Nobody.
Look at the dearth of brown liquor on
Because you know what happened?
on the table.
Embarrassment. That's what happened. It's shame. That's what's happened. It's shame. But now
Some of us were good.
But now our podcast listeners are going to be able to chime in next week and just be like, you know what? I like the Brown Liquor podcast better. Yeah. You know what? What was it? Marty Gratuitous Drinking?
No, Marty Garbage.
Marty Garbage? Marty Garbage. Marty Garbage was better than like a legitimate, straight up, normal podcast. Yeah. Because what we had today, folks, is the first time that we've got a podcast that probably doesn't need the adult rating.
Right.
Yeah.
And I laughed
No
a
way.
lot.
Ponchos, wiener, squirting out tequila.
I think that was
that's
Steve. I think that was all.
adult.
Steve, I think that was all visuals on your part.
Yeah,
I think
your sex partner's head off.
again.
That's in the national news. That's
all,
a news story.
That's all your visuals, Dan. You can only blame your own imagination on that.
Correct.
Because I think if we consult the what do they call that the text?
Yeah.
I think that if we consult the text, I think we might have got away clean.
Well,
Transcript.
so we never
the
really
transcript,
we
thank
never
you.
really
Yeah.
break the day. It's occasional swearing with occasional fucks or shit. But if it's not,
we did.
Well, no,
Congratulations.
No, you're allowed to. But if you if you have it in the title of your video or you scream it for the first
in the
30
first-
seconds,
Oh.
then you're different.
Okay, all right.
But if you admit to the fact that throughout the 2.5 to 6 hour podcast,
I was going to say,
occasionally,
the problem is when I list these fuckers.
Band.
Yeah, when I put them up on the Buzzsprout thing, they
Right.
always like the first thing is, is this safe for kids? And I'm
Right.
like, no,
No,
it's never
no,
safe
no,
for kids. And then they say, is there any swearing or offensive material? I'm like, yeah, there's always swearing or offensive material.
I always have to check, is it safe for adults? I'm like,
Only for man children.
Safe but not recommended.
Safe for adolescents.
Right. I agree. It's a bit
Man
dodgy
children.
on its best.
It's very
Yeah.
good for man children.
It's very dodgy. It's fucking dodgy on its best days. That's what it is. So anyway, you guys can let us know whether you approve, whether you better like last week's podcast
Better liquor one.
or this week's, the Marty Grabassery,
Well-
or the...
Last week was the first shit show in a long time.
It was.
Yeah, it was a
Since
fucking.
Chocolate
Well, and
Thunder
I think a big part of why it was a shit show is
No, there's been more shit
there's
shows.
been
way more shit
since-
shows after
Yeah, that's
151.
true.
We
Yeah.
actually listened to 151 today at work.
You did? Does it hold up?
Not the whole thing.
Does it hold up?
It holds up pretty well.
I mean, that's a long time ago.
yeah, this was
Yeah.
a good podcast.
I mean, episode 151
That was
is
a good
a
podcast.
very long time ago. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, that's great.
Did you guys, because I wasn't here, did you bring in 151 for 151?
Didn't have to.
Okay.
It was his birthday.
Okay.
no, he was already at 151.
Right.
Throw 160
Proof.
or get the fuck out.
Yeah. Yeah. He showed up at 151.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't have to. I don't even think we knew what podcast we were on. Back in those days, we didn't.
Right.
We had to figure it out a week later when we posted. It was like, what podcast was that? We didn't launch by saying this is podcast number 151. We didn't say that shit. Yeah. We had no idea. In fact, we got podcasts that when I'm trying to bring up like grateful, greatest hits, one from the vaults, there's no way to number that shit. Dustin was like, okay, and this one's going to be a super secret episode. It'll be episode 13.220. And I'm trying to put this shit up in some semblance of order. You can't. You just can't. What is it? It's Cleveland Moto Podcast. What day did it drop on? We don't know because it was recorded 3 months earlier. Half of our podcasts back then were recorded in one season and dropped in a different season.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. It was like, oh, it's really cold out in the garage. And we're like, it's 113 degrees out here. The fuck,
And the heater was this big.
Yeah, we were standing around a heater that literally was, you could have put it in your pocket. Yeah, that was our wall heater back then. We were standing around so fucking cold, man, miserable.
But you know what?
Yeah.
I was telling John that I really enjoyed those.
I think we all enjoyed them. Yeah.
Those were my favorites.
Yeah.
The garage ones?
The garage
just like when people were just falling down. And
well, again, there's not much to be compared to.
Oh,
literally,
I remember that one.
Standing around a motorcycle, slightly lightly working on a motorcycle, drinking and smoking at the exact same time, and then somebody stumbles through.
Yep.
And somebody's like, they're reaching for the ashtray and take out everybody. Yeah. One person's like, oh, it's totally okay. I'm just going to reach over and grab that. Bah! And they're down. Yeah. Take a header.
It was
and because
fun.
everything in the garage was close together and sharp, so you come up and you got like a facial injury, you got a gash where you're not supposed to. Yeah, it's all kinds of weird stuff.
But to me, it was so organic.
Well, yes, it's organic because it's a shit show. It's exactly it.
Well, last week was
you
organic.
don't get any more organic than an actual shit show.
Last week was so organic it smelled like a horse barn.
Yeah, last week was pretty organic, if that's the term you want to use. And the reason it was organic was why?
Brown liquor?
A lot of brown liquors. It was
All I know
cool.
is I wasn't falling asleep last night.
No, you weren't falling asleep last week. Right. So we figured out. We're going to get you coffee drinks from now on. All right. So that's it. Anybody else got anything else? Nice
think we're good.
job, Cleo.
Oh, we're right. 2 hours right now.
Right on the
Right,
money.
boom.
We gave you exactly what you paid for. That's right. So remember, folks, ride fast and take chances. Sing us out, John.
Take chances.